Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we will be working on a bank loan report project. We will do analysis and visualization for this project. The project is basically composed of two parts. The first one is the analysis part, which we will be doing using SQL or SQL, and then we will do the visualization using the Tableau. So as you can see on your screens, this is the dashboard for the bank loan report summary, and then we also have two other dashboards for overview and details of the bank loan report. We can navigate to these dashboards using these buttons. Okay, so as you can see, we have these 5 sections at the top. These are for the total loan applications, total funded amount, total amount received, average interest rate, average debt to income. So these are the KPIs which we will be calculating in this project. By the way, I have shared a document for these KPIs and the terms related to banking in this project. You should go through all those definitions so you can understand what actually we are dealing with and what are we analyzing in this project. Then we have categorized each KPI into two subcategories: month to date and month over month. So these are the values for month to date and month over month for each of the KPIs. Then we have the pie charts for the good loan issued and the bad loan issued. Good loan is basically the one through which the bank has achieved its target, and bad loan is the one through which the bank has not achieved its target. Okay, and then we have the loan status. Actually, we have divided all the KPIs on the basis of the loan status. Like charged up is the category which falls under the category of bad loan, and then we have these two categories, current and fully paid. They fall under the category of good loan. Current is the one it's the loan process which is currently going on, but the applicant is repaying all the installments on time. And fully paid is the one that the applicant has repaid all of his loan with interest. And then charge up is the one through which the bank is not achieving its target, or we may also call them defaulters. So these are the three categories, and then as you can see, these are the navigation buttons, and we also have the checklists. For example, if I want to see the results, the summary results on the basis of the verified applicants, I will uncheck this option and I will check only the verified. So let's see if it changes the values accordingly. So yeah, the results are changing according to our options provided. So this is, which means it's a dynamic dashboard. If I want to see a combination of these two options, source verified and verified, it will show me the results on the basis of that, right? Let me select all of these options again. Then we have another checklist for the purpose. On the basis of the purpose, we have categorized these. Like if a person has applied for the loan for a car or for a house or for medical purposes or for vacations or weddings, so these are all the categories. We can check them one by one. We can have a combination of two or more, or we can check them all to see the entire results. And then we have the grade. So grade is actually the classification of the applicants on the basis of the risk involved with the provision of the loan to them. So these are the categories A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So these are, if we select one of them or two or three, or if we want to select all of them, we can do it from here. Okay, let's move to the next dashboard. I will hold the Alt key and click on this overview button. Now we can see the overview of the bank loan report. So these 5 sections are the same as the previous dashboard, but here we have the total amount received by month. Okay, so this is a line chart which shows us that this is the like if I hover over here, it will show me that the total amount received was 27 million and something, and then in February. So if we go through this line, we will see the different values on and different months, right? And then we have the total amount received by state. These are actually the states of these are in the United States, so we can click on them one by one and we will see the results. Like we can see it's Wyoming state, and here the total amount received is this. Okay, and then if I click on Illinois, and then we see this is the value of the amount received in this state. So this way we can check the results on the basis of the states. We can also do one thing. If we click on this use as a filter option, and then if I want to see the results on the basis of the state, then look, this is Arizona, and here it is showing me the entire KPIs for this state only. If I click on this Wyoming, the entire dashboard will give me a different result, which will be based on the state of Wyoming. So we can also do this thing. And then we have another section. It's a pie chart, and it's based on the term of the loan process. Like some of the applicants might choose that we would like to repay the amount within 60 months. Other might have choose 36 months tenure. So these are the percentages of these two categories. And then we have the total amount received by employee length. Employee length means for how much duration the employee has been employed. And this is the total amount received by purpose, like for which purpose the applicants have applied for the loan. And this is the home ownership status of these applicants. If I want to change this option from total amount received to total funded amount, total funded amount is the amount which the bank has provided to the applicants as a loan. Okay, so the results will change accordingly. If I change it to total applications received, then the options will change accordingly. The results, data results will change accordingly. And these are the same checklist as in the previous one. Now let's move to the detail section or the dashboard. So these are the details. This is just the data set for all the applicants on the basis of loan amount, interest rate, installment, and total payment. We can also export this data to our team or any other stakeholder for further analysis. So this is all about the dashboard. Now we will be doing the analysis part using SQL, and for that I will use the MySQL workbench. So let's move to the next part of the project. Thank you. So now we are going to import the data into MySQL workbench. So this is the application on the screen, MySQL workbench, and we will first create a database for our project. So let me right click over here and I will click on the create schema, and here I will give it a name. So it's bank loan database. Okay, and I will click on the apply, again apply, and this way the database is created. Now we will add the data into this database. So I will right click on this bank loan DB and I will click on the table data import wizard. Okay, so let me browse. I have already downloaded this file. You can only also download it from the link given in the description of this video. So I'm down selecting this file and I'm clicking on the open and then next, and then here we'll have to give it a name. So let me give it a name as loan, bank loan. Okay, this is the database and this is the name of the table that we are going to create with the data. So I'll click on next. I'll again click on next, and now the program will start importing the data from our system. So I'll click on next. It will take some time because it's a large data, so we'll have to wait until it finalizes the import. So guys, the data import process is completed. We have imported all the data. Now I will click on the next and then finish. So now we will check whether the data is uploaded into the database or not. So I will click on this arrow and then I will click, oh, okay, we have the table, and these are the columns in this table: ID, address state, application state. But let's see let's see the data, what is inside the table. So first of all, I will write the query for selecting everything in the table. For that I will type select steric. Steric means I want to select everything from the data, and then from, and then bank loan db dot bank loan. Okay, and let's see, I'm running this query. Okay, so we have the table right in front of us. You can see there are let me check how many values are there. So we have restricted our result to 1,000 rows only. As you can see here, we can see more than that. We can go up to 50,000 results per query. So this is the table right in front of us. This is the ID. So let's discuss these columns one by one so you can have a better idea about all the columns in this table. So this is the ID, actually it's loan ID. This is provided by the bank to the applicant. Okay, and it is used for accessing the records that are associated with an applicant. Okay, and then we have the address state. So as you can see, this is CA, which means California. This is Illinois. This is I don't know what it stands for. This is Texas. This is New York, Florida. So these are all the states in the United States. Okay, then we have the application type. So I think all these applications are of the individual type. Okay, and then this is the employee length. So employee length means it provides us an insight into the borrower's employment stability. Like longer employment durations may indicate greater job security, and for the banks it's useful because if an applicant has greater job security, then he has greater chances to get the loan. Okay, and then we have the title. So employee title means employee title specifies the borrower's occupation or job title. That's what it means. And then we have the grade. So grade is it represents a risk classification assigned to the loan based on credit worthiness. Okay, higher grades signify low risk. Okay, and for the banks it's useful because higher grade loans typically receive lower interest rates and are more attractive to investors. And then we also have a subgrade category for this grade column, which is let me see, where is it? Let me check. Okay, this is the subgrade category. So actually it's like it refines the risk assessment within a grade, providing additional risk differentiation. And for banks it's useful because subgrades offer a finer level of risk assessment, helping banks tailor interest rates and lending terms to match borrower risk profiles. Okay, and then we have the home ownership. So home ownership indicates the borrower's housing status. It offers insights into financial stability of the applicant. Okay, and for the uh, banks use this field to assess collateral availability and borrower stability. Homeowners may have low default rates because bank know that if they cannot repay the loan, then we can take his home as collateral. So they have a greater chance of achieving the loan, and also they have like low default rates. And then we have the issue date. So issue date is the date on which the loan is provided to the applicant. And then we have the last. Let me check. Then we have the last creditable debt. So last creditable debt records when the borrower's credit report was last accessed. It helps monitor creditworthiness. Okay, and for the banks, bank use this debt to track credit history updates, assess credit risk, and make informed lending decisions. Okay, then we have the last payment date. Last payment date is the most recent date on which the the installment was received. Okay, from the applicant. And then the loan status. So loan status maybe like if an applicant has repaid all his loans, so it will be marked as fully charged. If a person hasn't is currently repaying his loan, then it will be marked as what we can say current. And if a person is defaulter, he has failed to repay the loan, then he will be marked as charged up. That's the third category that you can see here in this table. So as you can see, there is the table that we have uploaded to the MySQL workbench. We can see the different columns in this table. The first column is the ID, which is the loan ID. This is a specific value given to each applicant by the bank. Then there is the address state. Address state means to which state the applicant belongs to. Like this is GA, which means Georgia. It's California. It's Texas. It's Illinois. So these are all the states in the United States of America. Then we have the applicant type. So all of these applicant types, like this is individual. All the applications are on the basis of individual. And then we have the employment length or the employment. So employee length actually is the duration, employment duration. It means that if the employment duration is longer, then the applicant has greater job security, and it will involve low risk when the bank is giving any loan to this particular applicant. If he has short employee length, then it means that there is a risk involved in provision of the loan because he has low job security. And then we have the employee title. It's just like the job title. And then we have the grade. Grade is it's actually the classification of the risk assigned to different applicants. And then we also have a subgrade category. So these all these categories are further divided into subcategories for more further details. And then we have the home ownership. So some of the applicants might be living in a rented house, some of them might be living in mortgage house, and some of them might have their own home. So these are the different categories. There's also another category others. So all the other categories fall under that category. And then we have the issue date. Issue date is the date on which the loan is provided to the applicant. Then we have the last credit pull date. So last credit pull date records when the borrower's credit report was last accessed. It helps monitor creditworthiness of the applicant. And banks use this date to track credit history updates, assess credit risk, and make informed lending decisions. Then we have the last payment date. So last payment date marks the most recent loan payment received. Okay, and then we have the next payment date. So this is the last payment date. Then this is the next payment date. Next payment date is the date on which the applicant will be giving the next installment, will be paying the next installment. And then we have the loan status. So loan status, it's actually categorizing the applicants on the basis of being good or bad. So like if the applicant has fully repaid his loan, so he's a good applicant and he falls under the category of fully paid. If he is currently repaying his installments and he's like regularly paying it without any problem, so he will fall under the category of current. There is another category here. Let me see. Okay, 1 second, let me see it over here. So it's let me see it. Category, where's the category column in this Excel worksheet? Subgrade, verification status, loan status. This is no, this is the loan status. So here almost all of them are either charged up or fully paid, but there is also another category which is current, which means that the, let me see, yeah, we see this is the current. So let me uncheck all the other values and see for the current. So these are all the applicants which are currently repaying their their installments on regular intervals. Okay, so this is the other category. And then we have the charged up category. Charged up are those applicants who are defaulters, who couldn't meet the timelines, or the bank is not achieving its target by giving loans to them. So these are the three categories in the loan status. Then we have the next payment that I have already discussed it. Then the member ID. So member ID is also a unique ID given to an applicant. Then there's a purpose, like for which purpose the loan was acquired. So some of them might have acquired the loan for a car, for getting a car. Some of them might have for a home. Some of them might have other for wedding or any other purposes. So these are all the purposes for which the loan was acquired. Then we have the subgrade. I have already discussed it. Then we have the term. So we have basically two terms in this loan process. One is 36 months, which means that the borrower will repay all his loan within these 36 months. And 60 months mean that this is the term for the repayment of the borrowers. Like he will have to repay all the installments in 60 months. Then verification status is like the income source verification process that the bank do. There are three different: not verified, verified, source verified. Then we have the annual income. So this is the annual income, like how much each applicant is earning every month. And then we have the debt to income value, which is a ratio between the the debt and the monthly income of the applicant, which means like smaller the debt to income ratio, greater are the chances for the applicant to achieve to get the loan, because he will have less burden on him when repaying the installments. And then we have the loan amount. Loan amount is the amount given to the applicant as a loan, and then the total payment is what the applicant is going to repay to the bank. Okay, so that's going to be the total payment, which will include the interest as well. So this was all about the table, the data, and now we will further look into the data for further analysis. So if you look at this table, we have these columns: issue date, okay, last credit pull date, last payment date, and next payment date. Let me open it in Excel worksheet for better understanding. So if we look at this column, we see that the date has been provided to us in different formats. Some values are having the forward slash as the separator, and some values are having the hyphen as the separator. And this is the case with all the other columns, the date columns. Okay, so what we will have to do while doing our analysis in SQL, I will first convert all these. And by the way, if we look at the data type of these columns here, it's issue date, but it's in the text format. It has to be in the date format. That we will convert it into date. And same is the case with the last credit pull date, last payment date, and next payment date. So what we are going to do, we will first convert, we will create new columns for these issue dates and last credit pull date and all these date columns. And then what we will do, we will convert this issue date into a proper format, and we'll copy them into the new columns. And then we will delete the old columns and we'll rename the new columns by the old names of the date column. So this is going to be the process that we will do with each column. Okay, so let me I will forward the video. I will make it a bit faster so we can save time. Let's first find how many values we have in this data set. So let's select and count everything from bank loan. Okay, and let me find out how many values do we have in this. So these are the 8,576 applications in this data set. Okay, now we will do the process. What are we going to do with this? As I have already discussed, I will for the issue date column, I will create another column. Okay, alter table bank loan, add column. I will call it as converted issue date. Okay, and what will be the format of this date column? It will be date format. So let me run this and see what happens. So if we refresh this thing, and we see this is the new column that is added to the data set, and we can see it's in the date format. Okay, so what we will be going next, let me write it in the comment: converting the date values in the issue date column to a valid date format and adding the values into the column which is con issue date. So how do we do this? Let me write the query for this: update bank loan, sorry, and then set. What is the new column that we just created? It's called con issue date, and then we will apply the case for all the different formats that we are provided the date and the date column, issue date column. So when issue date, like when the format is like this one, when the separators are the forward slashes. So what we are going to do then is string to date issue date %d, which stands for the day, and %m, which stands for the month, and %Y, which stands for 4-digit year. Okay, so this is the way we're gonna do it. And what is the expected format in this case? Okay, and we have another case, an issue date, like when the separators are hyphens. What we have to do, we have to write it as string to date issue date, and this time I think I forgot to type one s here. And this time what we're gonna do, we're gonna do it like this: we're gonna paste hyphens this time. Okay, so that's the, and what we will be expecting this time, it will be the date separated by hyphens. Okay, then there is another case: if we are given the date, the year first, if year comes first and then month and then their date, and so it's going to be like this. It's 4 hyphens separated by dashes, then separated by dashes, and then so month and day, then string to date issue date. How are we gonna do this? It's going to be in this format. Okay, and D. Okay, what's the expected format? It's gonna be year, and it's gonna be month, and it's gonna be day. If we have any other format, we will make it as null, and we will end the statement, and let's run it and see for the results. So I will run this query and see it's running, and once process, okay, the process is complete. Let me see what we have done. Select everything from bank law. Okay, oh sorry. Okay, so let me run this. Now if we scroll it to the right, yes, this is the new column that we created, and this is the date which we have copied to this column from the issue date. Now what we are going to do next, we will drop the issue date, alter table, bank loan, drop column, issue date. Let me check if it works. So if we run this thing again, and if I refresh this, so you see the issue date has gone, and also it was here, so this that column is gone. So we will repeat this same process for all the other three columns. Okay, so I will forward the video. You can just see it, but it will be a bit faster, so just to save time. Okay guys, before we repeat the process, the same process for all the other date columns, I forgot to do one thing. I will rename the con issue date column to the same name as before, issue date. So let me do this. It's alter table bank loan, and then change column con issue date, issue date, and the format is going to be date format. So let me run this query. Okay, now if we refresh this thing, we will see, yeah, so the date is again, the column is again renamed to issue date. Now we will repeat the same process for the other columns, and I will fast forward the video so we can save time. So finally, we have converted all the date columns into the required date format and the data type. As we can see in this table, these are the new columns that we have created from the older ones. And now we will be able to do further analysis on this data set. So for that, I will take you to the page where all the KPIs and the problem statement are listed that we will have to calculate in this analysis part of the video. So let me take you to that page. Alright guys, so as we have done the first part to the table, we have converted the date columns into the proper format, date format, and now we will do the further analysis. So for that, let me open the page for the problem statement. So in the problem statement, we are required to calculate the total loan applications, and on the basis of the total loan applications, we also have to find the month to date loan applications, and also we need to track changes and the loan applications month over month, right? So let us calculate these three things first. So first I will write it in a comment: calculating the total uh, applications received. Okay, so select count. I will count all the values in the table or just a single column is total loan applications from bank loan. So if I run this, it will give us the number of total loan applications. So these were the total loan applications. Now we will calculate the month to date total loan applications. So calculating MTD total loan application. So how do we do it? I will write the query like this: count ID is MTD total loan applications from bank loan, where now as we are calculating it for the current month, which is the month of December, so I will write it like this: month of issue date is equal to 12 and year of issue date is equal to 2021. So let me run this. It will show us the month to date total loan applications. So in the month of December we received this much applications. Okay. I will write it in a comment: 44314. Okay, now we will also calculate the previous month uh, total loan applications, previous month to date. So calculating, let me copy this code and then I will edit it accordingly. So here I will have to calculate PMTD and I will write it as PMTD. I will just make changes to this So this is for the month of December, and this is the previous month. So let me run this query, and now we get the result for the previous month, which is month of November. So we will just replace this 4035. Okay, 4035. Now as we have calculated for the current month and for the previous month, so now we can calculate for the month over month, and I will achieve that result using the common table expressions. So how do we do this? Let me write it. Let me first comment calculating the month over month total loan applications. So how do we do this? With mtd app. Okay, is, so I will just copy this query for the month of December and will paste it here. Control V. Okay, and I will also write another CTE, common table expression, for the previous month. Okay, so we do it this way. I will copy this code and I will paste it over here, and I will close the bracket. So these are the two common table expressions. We just have to remove this thing and this thing, and I will also have to remove the comment from these two CTEs. Okay, so we just wrote the CTEs, and now what we have to do, I will also have to remove this. We only need it once. When we are writing multiple CTEs, we just have to separate it using a comma and then the name of the CTE. Okay, so now I will calculate the month over month using these two CTEs. Okay, so how do we do this? Select mtd dot mtd total loan applications minus pmtd dot pmtd total loan applications, and then we divide it by the pmtd dot pmtd total loan applications, and we also have to multiply it by 100 to convert it into percentage. Okay, so multiply it by 100, and then I will write it as month on month, month over month total loan applications from mtd app as mtd pmtd. Let me pmtd app as pmtd. Okay, so let me run this query, and then we will see the result for the month over month value in the last 2 months. So we can see that there is an increase of 6.9% in the month of December as compared to the month of November. So this is the month over month total loan applications. Okay, now let me open the requirements page again for the KPIs. So now we will do the same process for the total funded amount. So let us do it. So calculating the total funded amount. So the total funded amount is the amount given by the bank to the applicants or the borrowers. So if we look at this table, uh, the loan amount is actually the amount that is disbursed by the bank to the applicants. And let me just confirm. Yeah, this is the loan amount, and we just have to calculate the total loan amount given to the applicants. So how do we do this? We will write select sum loan amount as total loan amount from bank loan. If I run this query, it will give us the total amount given by the bank to the borrowers or lended by the bank. So this is like maybe 435 millions and something. So this is the total value. Let me write it here. Let me let me copy this. So this is the total value of the total funded amount. Okay, now we will also have to calculate the total funded amount for the month of December, which is the MTD amount. Calculating and the MTD total funded amount. So we will write the same query. We just have to make changes to it. So I will copy and paste it for here, and then where month of issue date is equal to 12 and year of issue date is equal to 2021, and let me run this query again. So this will give us the total funded amount for the previous month. So I will just copy it from here and I will write it in the comments. So this is the value of the total funded amount for the month of December. Now we also have to calculate for the previous month. So I will just copy and paste it over here and just make changes accordingly. And I will copy this query again. Control C, and now I'll paste it over here. I just have to change the value from 12 to 11 for the previous month. So let me run this query again. So now this is giving us the total loan received, application received in the previous month or the month of November. So I'll just copy it and we'll paste it over here. So these are the total number of applications received in the sorry, the total loan amount funded in the previous month. Okay. If we just rename it like this, it will be better. Funded amount and run it. Then we will also make changes to this funded amount and we will run this query again. And then I will also change. Okay, here I have to make changes. This is for the month to date total funded amount. Okay, so this is for the month to date, which is this value, and this is for the previous month, so it's PMTD total funded amount. Okay, so if I run this query, we'll get this value for the previous month. Okay, so now I will also I also need to calculate for the month over month funded amount. So we will do it the same way as we did before. We will write a query for it with MTD funded as. So I will copy this query for the month of this December. Control C and Control V. Okay, this is the first city, and now I will write the second city. So PMTD funded previous month to date loan amount funded. So is, and now I will copy this code from here. See, Control V. Okay, so these are the two CTEs for the month to date funded amount and for the previous month to date funded amount. Now we will calculate the month over month total funded amount. So how do we do this? We will write it like this: with MTD dot total uh, sorry MTD total funded amount minus PMTD total funded amount, and then we divide it by the previous month total funded amount. So PMTD total funded amount, and we also multiply this whole value by 100 to get a percentage of the overall change. So multiplied by 100 is month over month total funded amount from MTD funded MTD and PMTD funded PMTD. So let me calculate it by running this whole query along with the CTEs. There is an error. What sort of error is this? Let me check. Right syntax is there. Okay, I think there is a problem. Okay, I'll have to type another bracket here. So let me calculate it now. What's the issue here? PMTD total funded amount, bank loan DB funded. Okay, let's run this whole query. Okay, so the funded amount, we can see there is a 13% change in the current month with respect to the previous month. Okay, so which means that the total funded amount in the month of December is greater than the month of November by 13%. Okay, so this was all about the funded amount. Now if we look at the KPI requirements, so this is the total amount received. So we will repeat this process for the amount received now. So calculating the total amount received. Actually, the total amount received is the amount that the borrowers have repaid to the bank. So let me just copy these queries and just make changes to it accordingly. So first we will copy this, Control C, and I will paste it over here, Control V. So this is not the loan amount. This is the let me check. Okay, this is the total payment column. Total payment column actually is the one that the customer has repaid to the bank. So let me check. So this is the total. One second, let me total amount received. Okay, so let us run it again. So this is the total amount received by the bank from the borrowers. Okay, now we will calculate for the month to date and month over month, and previous month to date and month over month. So first we find for the month to date. Let's copy this query and make changes to it accordingly. MTD total amount received, and we just have to make changes. Total payment is total amount received. Let's run it again. So this is the month to date total amount received, like it's for the month of December. Okay, and now we calculate it for the previous month to date. So I will copy this code from here, okay, and we'll make changes to it accordingly. Control V, also okay, copy this, Control C, and Control V. So total amount received. So how do we do this? We just have to uh, replace it by the total payment, and this is the total amount received. And let me calculate it again. So this is the previous month to date total amount received by the bank from the borrowers. Now we will calculate the month over month, and the process will be the same as the other one. So we will just copy the code from here and we'll make changes to it accordingly. Calculating the month over month total amount received. So I will just paste this code over here and I'll make changes accordingly. Amount or I will just write it like payment. And make changes to this as well. Total amount received and total amount received. Now we will make changes accordingly. Total received, and we will make changes here as well. So if I run this query, let's see what happens. So this is also 13% increase in the month over month total amount received by the bank. Okay, all right, so we have calculated another KPI as well. Now we will do the same thing, the same steps. We will follow the same steps for average interest rate. Okay, and then we will also follow the same steps for debt to income ratio. All right, guys, as we have already calculated the uh, month to date total amount received and PMTD, which is previous month to date total amount received. Now we will have to calculate the month over month total amount received. Okay, so how do we do this? Let me write the comment first. Calculating the month over month total amount received. And let me just copy this section of the code because this will be similar. We just have to make changes in the code according to the current scenario. So let me copy this. So let me copy this section of code and paste it over here, and we just have to make changes according to the current scenario. So with MTD I will replace it with payment because this time we are calculating the total payment from the borrowers. And for the loan amount, we will replace this with the total payment, because total payment is the column which is for the amount received from the borrowers, and we will receive it, replace it with total amount received. Okay, and then this thing is the same as before. We just have to make changes again here. It's total payment, and this is total amount received from bank, and now we just have to make payment in this part of the code as well. So it's total amount received. This kind of copy pasting is prone to error, so you just have to be a little careful while doing this. And this is the total amount received, and we also have to make changes in this part of the code as well. So it's PMT total amount received, it's PM total amount received. All right, and it's funded payment, and this also has to be replaced with payment. And let me run this whole query and see for the results. Okay, it says PMTD total amount received in the bill. Okay, let me check. What's unknown column? Why is this PMTD total amount received? Okay, there is a spelling mistake. Let me run it again. So if I run this, okay, so we can see this time the month over month change in the total amount received is 15%, which is 15.84 to be exact. So this is the value for the month over month total amount received. So now we will look at the KPIs requirements again. We have calculated the total loan applications, total funded amount, total amount received. Now this is this time we have to calculate the average interest rate. So let's do this. So let me write it first in the comment. Calculate the average, or I will just write it like this. Okay. So how do we do this? Let's write the code. So we just have to write it like this. Select average, and then there's the end rate. Let me confirm the name of the column is correct. So end rate, yeah, it's end rate. It's correct. uh, from bank loan. All right, so let's run this and see the results, but let me alias it as well as average interest rate. Okay, now when we run this, this gives us the average interest rate. If I multiply it with 100, it will give us let me multiply it with 100. So this is 12%. Average interest rate over all the loans provided to the applicants is 12%. Now we will also have to calculate the average interest rate for the month of December, or the current month, which is MTD. Calculating the MTD average int rate. Okay, so this is going to be the same, but we just have to add a little code here, where month of issue date is equal to 12 and year of issue date is 2021. So let's run this, and I will alias it like MTD average interest rate. Let's see what happens. So for the month of December, it was also, it's just a little difference in the December part of the, yeah, it's 12.04, and this time it's 12.35, I think. Yeah, it's 12.35. We can also round this whole figure to two decimal places. That's also, I think, we have done in the previous code. Okay, so let me calculate the previous month to date. Okay, calculating the code is almost the same for all the KPIs. It's just, you know, the difference in the column names and all those things. So let me select average interest rate multiplied by 100 is, or what if we just copy this code for our convenience. So let me copy this, and I will paste it over here, and I will just write it like PMTD, and this is going to be the previous one. So if we run this, now the previous month average interest rate, previous month to date, it's 11.94. So this is, now what's the next part? We will have to calculate the month over month average interest rate. So let me write this copy this code again, and I'll make changes accordingly. So okay, mtd average end, and I will replace this with this code. Okay, let me copy it from here and I'll paste it over here, so it's gonna be easy for us. And now the pmtd average end. Okay, I think these are two. Okay, so let me copy this code and paste it over here. Okay, and now we have to make changes to this part of the code as well. So mtd, okay, so mtd average interest rate, and then pmtd interest rate. Okay, mtd average int and pmtd average int. So let's run this code. Okay, so the month over month change in the average interest rate for the month of December and November, it's 3.46. Okay, so we also calculated this. So this is these all these three sections are for the average interest rate. Let's see what is the next requirement. Okay, so it's the average debt to income ratio. So let's find out that one as well. Calculating the average debt to income ratio. So okay, which is shortly it's DTI. Okay, so we will add the code as the same as for the average interest rate. We just have to uh, replace some terms. So it's average interest rate. Now we will check the name of the column for the DTI. So let me check. So it's DTI. Okay, average DTI multiplied by 100 as monthly average DTI from bank loan. First we will calculate it, the total average DTI. So if I run this code, so it's 13.32. Okay, now calculating the MTD DTI. Okay, so let me copy this code, or let me copy this part, and let me copy this part of the code and paste it just below this part of the code. Okay, there is some problem. I think I don't need this one. Okay, so if I run this code, let's see what's the result. So it's 3.66, and what was the previous, the total value? It was 3.32. So there is just a little difference. And now we will calculate the PMTD DTI. So we just have to copy this code again, and we will paste it over here. Just we have to do little changes. Okay, and now if I run this, so this is 13.30. Okay, now we will calculating the month over month DTI. Okay, debt to income ratio. So I will copy this code from here and will replace some parts of it with some other codes just to make it perfect for the current scenario. So this is MTD payment, so it's going to be MTD DTI. Okay, and this is going to be average, and this is going to be DTI, and this is going to be MTD month to date average DTI. Okay, and this is going to be the previous month DTI. It has to be average, and this has to be DTI. Okay, and now we will have to make changes here as well. MTD dot average DTI. Okay, let me just copy this and paste it here, and then paste it here, and paste it here. So this is all the changes we have to do, and now let me run the code. So the month over month change in average debt to income ratio is 2.72. Okay, so this is all about the DTI, debt to income ratio. We calculated the total average DTI, then we calculated the DTI for the current month and then for the previous month, and then we calculated the average DTI for the month over month. Now, if we look at the KPI requirements from the problem statement, we have to calculate this one, average debt to income ratio. No, we have already done that. Let me check. So guys, our next target is to find the good loan versus bad loan KPIs. So in the good loan, we have to calculate the good loan application percentage. Then we have to calculate the number of good loan applications. Then good loan funded amount. Then good loan total received amount. And for the bad loan, we also have to find the same terms like bad loan application percentage, number of bad loans applications, and then bad loan funded amount, and then bad loan total received amount. So let me take a start. Okay, so first of all we will have to calculate the good loan application percentage. So calculating the good loan application percentage. Okay, so let me write it like this: select count. We just have to count the number of good loan applications which falls under the category of fully paid or current, and then we have to divide it by the total number of applications. So how do we do this? So count, and then we apply the case statement. Case when loan status is equal to fully paid, okay, or loan status is equal to current, okay. Then we have to count id, okay, and then we will end it. And when, as we are talking about the percentage, so I will multiply this with 100, and then we will divide it with the total number of applications. So we will write it like this: count id is good loan percentage. Let me write it like this: good loan percentage from bank loan. So the percentage of the good loan applications is 86.17. It means like out of 100 applications, 86 applications are those who belong to good loan, and then the rest of the percentages for the bad loan, which may be 13 point something. So that will be for the bad loan applications. So let me calculate now the total number of good loan applications. Okay, so calculating the total good, let me take this: total good loan applications. So we will do it like this: select count id is good loan applications from bank loan where loan status is equal to fully paid or loan status is equal to current. So this way we are going to find the total good loan applications, right? So let me run the code. So as we can see, there are 33,243 good loan applications, right? So now we're gonna find the next target is calculating the good loan funded amount. So first, let me write the comment: calculating the good loan percentage. Okay, select sum of loan amount is good loan funded amount from bank loan where loan status is equal to fully paid or loan status is equal to current. So when I run this query, it will give me the total good loan funded amount, right? And then we also have to I think that's it. We don't have to find the previous month, or let me check what are the requirements. So this is the good loan application percentage, this is good loan applications, and this is the good loan funded amount and total received amount. Okay, so we will have to calculate the good loan received amount. Okay, we already have done these three things: percentage, total number of good loan applications, and good loan percentage. Sorry, good loan funded amount percentage. Funded amount, sorry, this is my mistake. So we calculated the good loan funded amount, And what's the next requirement? We also have to calculate good loan total received amount. All right. Okay, so let me do this here as well. Calculating the good loan received amount. Select sum of the total payment is good loan amount received from bank loan where loan status is equal to fully paid or loan status is equal to current. So let me run this, and this will give us the value for the good loan received amount. So this is the amount we have received back from the borrowers, which falls under the category of the good loan. Now we will calculate all the terms for the bad loan issued. Okay, so it's bad loan issue. So the first thing we need to calculate is percentage, bad loan percentage. So we will just do it like the same. I will have to copy this code. Percentage, for the percentage we have this control C and then control V. We don't have to write it like this. We just have to the loan status. We just have to write it like when the loan status charged off. Okay, then let me just confirm. Loan status with it's charged off. Okay, it's written the same way. So I don't have to write it in the case statement. Oh, we have to write it like this. Case when loan status is equal to charge off, then ID int. Okay, let me run this. I will have to rename this as well. Bad loan percentage. Okay, so the bad loan percentage is 13.82. Okay. Okay, so this was for the bad loan. Now I will have to calculate the total count of good loan applications. Let me check. Yeah, bad loan applications. So I'll have to calculate the calculating the total count of bad loan applications. So I will write it like this. What if I just copy the code from there and I paste it over here, and I just have to write it like this, where launch status is equal to charged up. Okay. Okay, so 5,333 are the total bad loan applications received by the bank. Okay. Now let me check what's the next target. It's bad loan funded amount. Okay, so we will have to calculate the bad loan funded amount. So I just have to copy this. Just have to write it like this, charged off. And when I run this query, it will give us the total amount, funded amount for the bad loan applications. Bad loan sum of loan amount, bad loan status charge. Okay, so this is the total amount funded for the bad loan applications. Okay. Okay, now what we need to find. Okay, so we will have to calculate the loan status as well, the count of the loan status as well. So let me calculate it. Calculating the count of loan status. It means like how much, as we know, we have three categories in the loan status: charged off, current, and fully paid. So we will calculate them. We will count them one by one. Now what we have to do next, we will find the total loan count, like how many applicants have got loan, and the total amount received, the total funded amount, and the average interest rate, and the average debt to income ratio on the basis of the loan status. So let's do this. First I will write it in the comment. Calculating the loan count, total amount received, total funded amount, interest rate, interest rate and DTI on the basis of the loan status or against the loan status. So how do we do this? We write it as like this: select loan status and then sum of total payment is total amount received, because this is the amount that we have received back from the borrowers, and then sum of the loan amount which is provided by the bank is total funded amount is interest rate. I think I forgot one thing. Account ID is loan count. Okay, and we also have to calculate the average DTI. Okay, so DTI multiplied by 100 is DTI from bank loan, where or let's group by loan status. So let me do this. If we run this, we get the following result. This is the loan status for the charged up. We have received this much applicants have received the loan, and these are the criteria for the fully paid applicants, and these are the current applicants, and these are the other terms for these three categories. Okay. Now what we can do next, we can calculate the on the basis of the MTD. Okay, calculating MTD, total amount received, and MTD, total funded amount on the basis of loan status. So let me do this. Select loan status, sum of total payment is MTD, total amount received, sum of loan amount is MTD, total funded amount from bank loan, where month of issue date is equal to 12 and year of issue date is equal to 2021. So we will calculate these terms on the basis of the loan status for the month of December 2021. So let me run this. Okay, I think we forgot to group it. Group by loan status, and let me run this again. So these are the three categories as before, but this time we have calculated the month to date total amount received and month to date total funded amount. Okay. Now we will also calculate for the overview of the bank loan report. Okay, and we will do this on the basis of issue date, month name, and let me do this. Now we will calculate the month-wise total loan applications received and total funded amount and total amount received. So we will calculate it month-wise. Let me write it in the comment first. Calculating monthly total loan applications, total funded amount, and total amount received. So how are we gonna do this? We're gonna write it like this: select month of issue date is month number and month name. This will extract the name of the month from the issue date. as month, name, count, ID as total loan applications, sum of loan amount as total funded amount, sum of total payment is total amount received from bank loan, group by, so we'll group by month of issue date and month name of issue date, and order by month of issue date. So let's run this and then you will understand what actually I'm trying to achieve from this code. So if we, as we can see, this is the month number first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and this is the name of the month: January, February, March, April, May, and this is the total loan applications on the basis of these months. So in the January we have received 2,332 applications, and then these are the numbers for the other months, and then we have the total funded amount, like the amount that the bank has given to these applicants on the basis of these months, and then the total amount received from the applicants. So this is all about it. Okay. So this is just an overview of the bank loan report, and but this is on the basis of month. So let me write it in the comment like this: bank loan report overview overview on the basis of month. Now we will achieve the same results, but this time it will be on the basis of the state. Okay, so all we have to do, we just have to copy this part and we have to paste it, and then we'll make some changes to it. So let me replace this part of the code. Select address state as state. Okay, and then we will group by the address state, and then we will order them by the address state. So this time we are going to get the same values, but this time it will be on the basis of the state. So these are the different states in the United States of America, and these are the figures on the for these states. Like it is for the state AK, its total loan applications is 78, total fund amount is this much, and this is the total amount received. So this is the state-wise categorization of these terms. Okay, this is on the basis of state. Now let's do it on the basis of the term, because we had two different terms. One is for the 36 months and one is for the 60 months. Let me show you. Where is the term? Yeah, so as you can see, there are only two terms, 36 months and 60 months. So we will categorize these total loan applications, total payment amount, and total amount received on the basis of term. So let me just copy this code, Control C, I'll paste it over here. And what was the name of the column? It was simply, one second, yeah, it was term. So what we have to do now, we have to write it like this: as term, and on the basis of, we'll group them by the basis of term, and we will also order them on the basis of term. And let's run this code. By the way, I forgot to put a semicolon here, so let me run this again. So as we can see, for the 36 months term, we have the total loan applications equal to 28,000. So most of the applicants have applied for the 36 months term, and then only 10,300 339 have applied for the loan on the basis of 60 months term. Okay, so this was all about the term. We can also categorize these terms on the basis of the employee length. Let me write it. So I will just copy it, or let me copy the whole code, and I will paste it over here, and I will write as employee length. So I will just replace this thing by emp length. Let me just confirm. Yeah, it's emp length. Okay, emp length is employee length, and then I will group it on the basis of emp length, and also I will change it over here. So let me run this code again. So on the basis of, as we have, I think total 10 or 11 categories, so less than 1 year, this is for the applicants having the employment duration listed sorry, employment duration less than 1 year, then this is for the 1 year, this is for the 10 plus years, and these are the other categories, and these are the results on the basis of these employment durations. Okay, so we have also achieved this. We can also do one thing. We can also categorize these this data on the basis of purpose of the loan. Okay, so all we have to do, let me just copy this code and I will paste it over here, and I will do the changes accordingly. So I will replace this with purpose is purpose. Let me write it in a more detailed loan. Okay, and I will replace these values with purpose and this one as well. So let me check. So now, as we can see, we have these different categories. There is car, credit card, debt, consolidation, educational, home improvement, house. So these are all the for, different categories and the purpose of loan, and these are the numbers against each of these category. Okay, we can also do one thing. We can also have an overview of the results on the basis of home ownership. So let me copy and paste this over here, and let me home ownership. So the process is the same for all the calculations. We just have to change it with this. So the let me check what's the name of exact name of that column, home ownership. It's going to be somewhere over here. Total loan, registered application type. Oh, this is home ownership. Let me copy it from here. Home ownership is home ownership. Okay, and I will replace this value as well with the name of that column. Let me paste it and let me run. So when I run this query, so these are the categories: mortgage, non, other, on, and rent, and these are the figures against each of these categories. So this was all about the exploratory data analysis using SQL, and now we will be heading towards our next part, which is the Tableau. We will do the same exploratory data analysis using Tableau, and we will also do the visualization part. So this is it for now, and let's move towards the next part. Guys, I forgot to tell you one thing. Since we have some limitations while most of us are working on Tableau Public, so Tableau Public, and the problem with the Tableau Public is that it has not so many options while we are importing data into the Tableau Public. So what I have to do, I will run this query. I have increased the limit to 50,000. So it will fetch the whole data for me, which is 38,576 rows. So I will export this data in the form of CSV file, and I will export it on my desktop. Okay, and let me export it. So now the data is being exported. We will wait until it is downloaded in our system. It will take like 2 to 3 minutes, so we will have to wait for that. So the data is finally exported, and this is on our desktop now. So let me open it. Okay, so this is the data in the CSV format, and as you can see, there are total 38,576 rows. Okay, so what I have to do, I will save it as an Excel worksheet. I will save it on the desktop with the name of bank loan, but this time I will save it in the form of Excel workbook. Okay, so I'm saving it, and let's see whether we can import this now in our Tableau public or not. So let me connect to data, Microsoft Excel, and if I go to the desktop, yeah, there is the bank loan data. Let me import it. So it's being imported successfully. Yeah, so that was the way to do it, because we don't have many options in Tableau Public. If you want to import the data in the form of CSV file or any other format, so we have different options on the Tableau desktop, but in the Tableau Public we have just limited options, as I have already shown it to you. So guys, as we have finally uploaded the data into Tableau Public, let me show you around. So we have these two different tables. This table is the metadata of the table that we have uploaded, and this is the actual data in the table. Okay, so here we have four columns. The first column shows us the type of the data. So this hash means that the data type is numeric. So as we already know that ID is in the form of numbers, it's a unique number given to an applicant. So it's a numeric data type. And if you have noticed, this was the actual name that we had given to that column, or that this was the column, the name of the column. But as Tableau is smart, so it renamed it in a proper way. It capitalized the first letter. And then we have the physical table column. It shows us the source of the data, which is bank loan that we had created, right? And now this one, this globe shows us the geographical data type. And as we know that the address state was showing us the to which state the applicant belonged in the United States. So it was a geographical data. So the actual name of the field was address underscore state, all in lowercase, but it has renamed it in a proper way. It looks better. So it has done all the same thing with all the columns. But this is ABC. It shows us that the data type of the field is actually categorical, or you may say alphabetical. So this shows us, ABC shows us that it is a categorical data type. Then again, this is numeric. This is numeric, and this calendar icon shows us that the data type of this field is date. Okay, and the actual name was like this, and it renamed it to this format. So this is all about it, and this is the actual data. Now as we are going to do further analysis using Tableau, so let me take you further. So when I click on this sheet one, a new window will open, and on the left hand side we can see the field names that were already in the table. So here we can see that these are the data types, but these are colored blue, and these below this narrow horizontal line we can see that these are the data types, all colored in green color. So above the narrow line, all these field names, or you may say these are the categorical data types, or these are the dimensions of the data. Okay, we can also call them as discrete data. And below the horizontal line, all these data types are continuous data, or you can also call them measures, or you can also call them continuous data. So on the basis of these continuous data and discrete data, or the measures and dimensions, we will visualize the data according to the problem statement. Let me take you to the problem statement again. So in this problem statement, we have to design the dashboard one, and on the dashboard one, what we have to do, we have to calculate the KPIs and visualize it. So first we'll have to find total loan applications, and then we will have to find total loan applications on the basis of month to date and month over month. Same is the case with the total funded amount. We will find it first, and then MTD funded amount, and MOM, which is month over month funded amount. And we will do the same process for all the other terms like total amount received, average interest rate, and average debt to income ratio. So we will be doing all this in the coming session. So for total loan applications, let me take you to the table public. So let me first rename this page total loan applications. Okay, and here what we're gonna do, we're gonna open create a calculation field, create a calculated field, and I will rename it again total loan applications. And what is actually total loan application? So as you can see, there is an ID field, which is a unique number given to each applicant. So if we count all these unique numbers, it will be equal to the total loan application. So how do we do it? We will write as count and ID. So if I apply this, okay, I think I have already created this. Let me delete this. Okay, now we will apply it, and as you can see, it's now created a new uh, measure is now created. So let me drag this and drop it on the text button. Okay, so this is 38,576. So if you want to verify it with the SQL query, let me take you to the SQL as well. So here's the SQL query. If I run this, you'll be able to see the count. So this is 38,576, and this is also 38,576. Let's do some formatting first. So I will click on this text button. I will open this, and I will make it center align. Okay, and also I will click on this three dots. I will select this. I will make it the size will be 22, and I will change the font to Lato. Okay, this is Lato. Where is Lato? Okay, this is Lato black, and let me apply it. And okay, and one thing I have to do, I will click on it, and let me, where is that option, entire view? Let me see. Okay, if we click on this, yeah, sure, toolbar is not shown to us. So let me, okay, so I will make it as entire view, and now this will come to the mid of this section. So as we have calculated total loan applications, let me take you to the KPI requirement page. Now we have to calculate the, okay, it's the month to date, and also the month over month loan application. So how do we do this? Let me get back to you. Let me take you back to Tableau. Okay. So if I run this, I will first create a new sheet, and then I will rename it as total loan MTD, total loan applications. Okay, and now I will create a calculation field. Here I will also call it month to date total loan applications. And now let me write the query first and I will explain it to you. So if date difference, date part is going to be the month, and then the start date is going to be the issue date, and then the end date is going to be the maximum of the issue date, right? When this is equal to 0, then id int. Okay, so now what does, okay, it says that the calculation contains error, so we will have to convert it into fixed LOD because you see expected closing parenthesis or comma while parsing argument. Okay, there is another issue. We will have to paste another bracket over here, and then the error is still there. It says cannot mix aggregated and non-aggregated arguments with this function. So as we see, these are the non-aggregated functions, and this is the aggregated value. So to convert it into a fixed LOD, we will what we can do, we will we will type the curly braces. So now it is a fixed LOD now. So it says that the calculation is valid. Now let me explain. We want to find the total loan applications for the month of December, which is the month to date loan, total loan applications. So I'm giving it a condition. We will find the date difference on the basis of months. That this means that whatever the date is, it will extract the month from that date, and then it will find the difference between the months of those two dates. So the issue date, if the issue date is equal to, for example, let me show it to you what's maximum date. So if I just drag it over here, the maximum date is 12/12/2021, which means that the month of December, it's 12. So 12 is for December. So this is the maximum date, and let me do one thing. Where is the issue date? If I bring the issue date over here and I make it like month, and then I click discrete, so these are the total, these are the issue dates, right? Now if I copy this condition and paste it over here, so as we can see that it's only true for December, so the difference of these two will be 0 when the month is December. Okay, so if the month is December, then it will be equal to the maximum issue date, and then it will give us a 0 value, so this condition will be satisfied. Okay, so now what we have to do, we will count. One second. We will count all the values for the month of December. So I will do it like this, and let me apply. Okay, let me remove this thing and also this thing. Okay, so if I bring it over here, so this is the total loan received in the month of December. Now we will have to verify it with the SQL code. So let me take you to the MySQL workbench. So we had calculated all these things over here. Let me show you. So this is the total loan application, and this was the month to date. So let me run it again. So it's 4314, and now if we look at this value, it's 4314. So it verifies that our result is correct. So I will do some formatting. So I will make it as center, and I'll make it as entire view, and we will do the further formatting. So so I will select it first. I will make it as 11, and I will make it as Tableau semi-bold. Okay, and I will apply, and then I will also apply it a color which is this one, and apply, and okay. So now it can be seen, it's a faint color. I have to also play with the formatting further. I will convert it into the unit sub k. So this will be one decimal place, and the display unit will be k, and this is what actually I wanted to achieve. So this will be displayed as 4.3k, and we have also verified this value with MySQL queries. Now what we have to do next is this is already given in the KPI requirements that we will have to calculate the month over month. But before we calculate it for the month over month, we have to calculate the previous month to date loan application. Then we will be able to calculate the month over month loan applications, because month over month application is actually the month to date application minus previous month to date loan applications divided by previous month to date loan applications. Let me show you how we do this. So first I will calculate PMTD, previous month to date loan applications. Okay, and for that what I'm going to do, I'm just making it a duplicate, and I will edit it. So I will now write as PMTD, and here I have to just make one change. This time the difference between the maximum date and the issue date is going to be 1, because we are calculating it for the month of November. So maximum date, issue date, the month of the maximum issue date is 12, and the month of the issue date is 11. Then the difference is going to be uh, 1. Let me show you what actually I mean with this. So let me bring the date first. Where is the date? Issue date is here. So I will make it as month, and then I will make it as discrete. Okay, so if I copy this and I paste it over here, you can see that this condition is true only for the month of November. So this means that it will calculate only for the month of November. For all the other months, this condition is false. So let me remove this, and now we'll be able to calculate it for the month of November. I will click on apply, and I will click on OK. So now what I will have to do, let
During the
me
December.
do one thing. We don't need this PMTD sheet. So month over month total loan applications. Okay, so now I will create calculated field, and I will call it at month over month total loan applications. And what we have to do, we will just write the formula. So the formula for the month over month loan applications is it's month to date total loan applications minus previous month to date. One second, I made a mistake here. I have to rename it. Edit. It has to be previous month to date. Yeah, previous month to date. Apply. Okay. Now I will write the calculated field again. Okay, so it's month over month total loan applications, and what's the formula for this? It's MTD minus PMTD. Let me enclose these two terms in the bracket, and then what we will do, we will divide this value by the PMTD total loan applications, and this will give us a pure logical table name already exist. Okay, let me remove this first. Where is the month over month? Okay, let me delete this. Okay, now I will apply, and okay, then I will drag it to the text button. So this is the value. Let me convert it into let me do some formatting first, as we normally do with the rest of the data. I will make it as 11 and tableau semi bold, and this color has to be this one. Okay, I will click on apply, and now I will select the entire view, and to convert this percentage convert it into percentage, we will click on format and then percentage, and I will restrict it into one decimal place only. So this is the month over month total loan applications. So this way we have calculated our first KPI, which was like the total loan applications, and then the month to date total loan applications, and then month over month total loan applications. Now we will move to our next target, which is total funded amount. Let me open the page. So this is the second KPI that we have to calculate. It's total funded amount, and along with that, we also have to calculate the MTD, month to date total funded amount, and the month over month total funded amount. So let's get started. So first, I will create a sheet, a new sheet, and will rename it as total funded amount. And what we gonna do, we gonna create a calculated field. It's going to be total funded amount, and it's simply the sum of the all the values in the loan amount. Okay, so we will just put like this sum and loan amount. So if I apply this, and then I drag it to the text button here. So this is the total funded amount. Let me do some formatting as we normally do. Let me do one thing. I will delete this page, and I will just duplicate this one. So we don't have to do the same process for the formatting again and again. So this is a total loan application. I will change it to total funded amount, and now I will create a new calculated field. Or what I can do, I will just duplicate this one. Okay, and then I will edit it. So this is total. Um, okay, we already have created this. We just created it. So let me create it again, and I will just drag it, and I will just release it when right on the top of the other one. So when I release it, it will be replaced by this one. So the formatting is already applied. That's what I wanted to achieve in this step. So let me do the formatting. So as it's a currency, so we will make it to currency custom, and then what I will do, I will change it to millions. So it's already 5 millions 18. Okay, that's done. And then let me verify this value with the SQL query. So this is the SQL query. If I run this, you can see it's the same value as we just Just let me create it in table. So let me take you back to table. Okay, so this is total funded amount. Now we are going to calculate the previous total month to date total funded amount. So what I will do, I will duplicate this one, this page, and I will take it to the right and will rename it. So month to date total funded amount. Okay, and I will also this is to month to date total. So I will duplicate this and I will make changes to it. So I will edit it first. It's month to date total funded amount, and now I will, instead of counting, I will sum the value. So we will sum only the values when the date difference is 0, as I have already explained this part of the code. And what we will have to sum, that's the loan amount. Okay, let me apply this. Apply here. Okay. So MTD total funded amount. Let me drag it and release it over the amount to funded amount. So this will be replaced with this one. Okay. Yeah, it's the total funded amount. And let me verify this value with SQL query as well. So this is the value in the SQL query. Let me run this. So this 53981.425, and what's the value here? It's 53981.425. So it means that our value is correct, calculation is correct, and now I will do the formatting. So format and currency custom. I'll do the same as before. Okay. Now we will calculate the PMTD total funded amount. So I will just duplicate this page. Let me duplicate it and I will rename it. I will rename it as TMTD total funded amount, which is for the previous month. And I will also, this is the MTD total funded amount. So I will duplicate this one as well. So when I duplicate it, I will edit this copy of the MTD funded amount. I will remove the copy and I will just add P in the beginning to make it as PMTD. And this is the same case as before. We will have to just make it 1 so that now we target the previous month, which is the month of November. Okay. So let me apply this. Okay. So this is the PMTD total funding amount. I'll take it and release it over the top of the previous. So now we can see we just have to make changes to it as we did before. We will go to number and currency custom. I will make it as 1 decimal place and I will convert it into millions. So this is the total PMTD total funded amount. And let me also confirm this with the SQL query. So if we calculate this, yeah, this is also the same. Let me run this query so you can see it. So it's 47.75. So this is the same as this one, 47.8. It actually rounds up. It is a rounded up value, so that's why it's 8. So now what we have to do, we will calculate the month or month total funded amount. So I will duplicate this page and I will drag it to the right and we'll rename it as MOM total funded amount. Okay. And for the calculation, let's duplicate this MOM total loan application. I will duplicate it first and then I will edit it. So first we will have to rename it total funded amount. And let me just rewrite the whole code. So MTD total funded amount minus PMTD total funded amount divided by the PMTD total funded amount. So when I apply this, so this is the PMTD total, sorry, the month over month total funded amount. If I drag it and release it over the top of this term, so now we get this value. So this is the 13% change with respect to the previous month. And let me also confirm this value, but let me first convert it into percentage. So format, I will convert it into percentage. Okay. And now let's check the, let's confirm this value by double checking it with the query with this query code. So if I run this query, let's see, it's 13.0387 and here it will be 13.04 because it is rounded up to the 100th place. Okay, so this is M1 total funded amount. Now, according to the KPIs required, we will also calculate total amount received. So let me do this. I will duplicate this page. Okay, so let me duplicate it and let me drag it to the right and let me rename it. So it's total amount received. And for the value, I will just copy it, duplicate this one and duplicate. Okay, and now I will edit it for the total amount. So it's total amount received, total payment. Let me apply this. So now I will drag the total amount received, this measure, and I will release it on the top of this one. So this is 43070. So this is total amount received, but we can double check it using the SQL query. So let me run this. It's 470. So this is the same as this one. So our calculation is correct. Let me format it. So let me go to the format option, the numbers and currency custom, and one decimal place, and we will convert it to millions. So this is also done. Now we will calculate the MTD total amount received. So I will duplicate this page and I will drag it to the right. Okay, and I will rename it total amount received. And for the value, we will do the same changes as we did for the other. So let me make changes to this one. It's the MTD total amount received, so I will duplicate this value, MTD total funded amount. I will make a duplicate of this and I will edit it so we can get the required answer. So let me first rename this MTD total amount received, and here I will just change this thing, total point, this one. Okay, and let me apply this and let me click OK, and now I will drag it to this place so we can replace the with this value. So MTD total funded amount, MTD total loan, MTD total loan obligation, MTD total amount. So this is MTD total amount received. I will drag it over here and will release it. So this is 58074380. Let me convert this with SQL query. So we run this. One second. I will run this to check, just to double check. So it's the same as the table. So the calculation is going to be correct. Let me format it. So I will come to number option and then currency custom, one decimal place, and again millions. And this is done. Okay. Now we will also have to calculate the PMPT total amount received. So I'll just duplicate this page. I'll drag it to the right. And I will rename it PMPT total amount received. And for the value, what I will do, I will duplicate this one, PMTD total funded amount, and I'll make changes to it accordingly. So this is PMTD total funded, total amount received. So I will first rename it PMTD total amount received, and now here I will just change this one term, total payment. So let me apply and let me click OK, and now I will replace this value with the correct one. So PMTD total amount received. Let me drag it. So this is 50 million, and that's the value. So let me confirm it with the SQL query as well. So if I run this query, it's the same as the table. Result we get here, it's the same with that one. Okay, so let me format it again. Let's come to click on number and then currency custom and then one decimal place and then millions. So this is converted into million. Okay, now as we have calculated MTD and PMTD, now we will calculate the month per month. So for that, I will just duplicate this page. I will drag it to the right, and I will rename it received. And for the data, I will just duplicate this one, and I will edit this. Total amount received. Okay, and we will rewrite the whole formula because we have to, and it's completely different. So MTD total amount received minus PMTD total amount received divided by PMTD total amount received. So when I apply this and click OK, I will drag it to the that position. So it's PMTD total amount received. I'll just drag it and delete it just for the top of the previous value. So this is one second. I think I have done something wrong. It's month over month, sorry. It's month over month total amount received. So it's 15%. And let me double check this. So if I run this query, it's also 15%. So I will change it to percentage and you will get the exact value. So format and change it to percentage, only one decimal place, and this is the value we get. And this is the correct one. So we have also calculated the total amount received, MTD total amount received, PMTD total amount received, and MOM amount received. Okay. So I think we don't need this one because we only need this one. This one I will delete this page, and I will also delete this page. We don't need these values in our dashboard. The requirements are only these pages. Okay. So now what's the next requirement in the KPIs? Okay, it's about the average interest rate. Okay. So let's calculate that one as well. So our next requirement is average interest rate. So now we will calculate the average interest rate, then the month to date and month over month average interest rate. So let's start this. So I will open the Tableau public again. And as we have already, let me copy this. Its total amount. Let me duplicate this. I am duplicating it because it will make us make it easy for us because we can't do the formatting time and again. So let me just make it over here. It's average average interest rate. And now we will calculate the average interest rate, for which I will have to create a calculated field as average interest rate, and this is going to be average interest rate. So if we take the average of it, I'll apply and then press OK. So this is the average interest rate. If I just drag it and release it over here, this gives me the average interest rate, and let me format it as well. So I will convert this into percentage. I'll click on the number and then I'll convert it into percentage, but I will restrict it into one decimal place. So it means that the average interest rate is 12%. And if you want to can confirm it with the SQL query, so let me run this query. It's 12.04. So we rounded it up to one decimal place, and now the value is 12%. Now we will have to calculate the previous month average interest rate. Sorry, the month to date average interest rate. So let me duplicate this page and I will drag it to the right, and I will rename it. So month to date average interest rate. And for calculating the month to date average interest rate, I will choose any month to date measure. This, let's pick this one. Okay, let's duplicate this one and let's edit this as well. So it's going to be the month to date average interest rate. Okay, now we have to just instead of sum we will have to write it as average, and what are we actually taking the average of? So it's the int rate, which is interest rate. Okay, let's click on apply and see what's the value. So average interest rate is this, and where is the MTD average interest rate? Okay, it's this one. So it's again 12.36. Let me format the value, but let's first confirm it with the SQL query as well. So if we calculate the previous month average interest rate, the month to date, so it's 12.356. And what's the value here? It's 12.36. So it's the result is correct. Let's just convert it into percentage and let's restrict it into one decimal place. So it's 12.4. Now we will have to calculate the month over month average interest rate. So let me duplicate this page. But for month over month average interest rate, we will also need previous month average interest rate. So let me just rename it and then we will calculate the previous month average interest rate as well. Okay, and I will, okay, that's it. And let me let me edit the month to date average interest rate. I will just duplicate it and I will edit this one. So when I edit this, I will remove this copy and I will just add p to make it previous month to date average, and just instead of 0 we will type 1. So now this will give us the previous month to date average interest rate. Now we can calculate the month over month average interest rate. So for that, let me create a calculated field, month over month average interest rate, and it's going to be MTD average interest rate. Let me close it within brackets, minus PMTD average interest rates, and then divide by the PMTD average interest rate. This gives us the month average interest rate. We will just drag it and release it over the top of this measure, and I will just convert it into, but let me confirm first whether we have got the right value or not. So we will go to the SQL and we will calculate the month average interest rate. So it's 3.46, so I think our value is correct. Yes, it's 3.47. If I just change the format and convert it into percentage with only one decimal place, so it's 3.5. Okay. Now what's the next requirement from the KPI? So it's average debt to income ratio. It's also easy to calculate. We will just duplicate this one and we will drag it to the right, and we will just rename it average DTI, which is debt to income ratio. The smaller the value of the DTI, the more easier it's for the applicant to repay his loan. So we will just duplicate the average interest rate and make changes to it accordingly. So it's the int rate. Let me duplicate this and let me edit the value. So this is going to be the average DTI, and it's going to be average DTI. So I apply this, and okay, so it's the average DTI. I will just drag it and release it over here. It's 13.33%. Let me confirm with the SQL query as well. So this is the average DTI. It's going to be 13.327, which is equal to 13.33 if we rounded it up to the 100th place. So let me change the format of this value. We'll click on number and we'll convert it into percentage. Okay. Now we will also have to convert the previous month, sorry, the month to date average DTI. So I will duplicate this page, and I duplicate it and I drag it to the right. Month to date average DTI. And for the calculation, we will just duplicate the month to date average interest rate. I will duplicate this value and I will edit this value as well. So it's month to date average DTI, and instead of interest rate we will just put DTI over here and it will calculate the average DTI for us. PMTD every DTI. It's okay. MTD every DTI. This is the average MTD every DTI. So it's also 13.67. Let me confirm it with the SQL query. So if we check it for the month of December or month to date, it's 13.665, which is equal to 13.7. Let me just change the format. We'll click on number and we'll click on percentage and we'll restrict it into to only one decimal place. Sorry. Okay, so this is MTD average. Now we will also calculate the month over month average in DTI. So I will just duplicate this page and I will drag it to the right as usual, and I will rename it average DTI. But for month over month average DTI, we will also have to calculate the previous month average DTI. So let me just duplicate this previous month to date average interest rate. I will just make changes to it. So this is previous month average DTI, and I will just replace this with DTI. Okay, and apply and okay. So now for the month over month, I will create a new calculated field. It's month over month average DTI. So it's month to date DTI minus PMTD average DTI, and let me close this within brackets, and now I will divide it with PMTD average DTI. So this will give us the month over month average DTI. If I just drag it and release it over the top of this measurement, we will, yeah. So let me just first confirm it with the SQL query. If we are going in the right direction, then we will move forward. So it's 2.72, and here if you look at this value, it's 0.272. If I can convert it into percentage, the values will match. So it's percentage and it's only one decimal place and it's 2.7, right? So we have also calculated the month over month average interest DTI, month to date average DTI, and month over month average DTI. What's the requirement of this? Okay, so we have calculated all the required KPIs for the dashboard one, which is the summary dashboard. Now we will design our dashboard. So for the dashboard, I will click on this icon, which is for the dashboard, and I will let me check its device review. We will make it as fixed size, and we will select the PowerPoint option. So now I will drag this image icon into this open space, and now I will select an image for our dashboard background. I have already created this. You can download it from the link of the description. I will select this, check this option and this one as well, and I will click on apply, and I click on OK. So first I'll have to rename this dashboard to summary, because this is going to be our summary dashboard. And now I'll have to write the title on this dashboard. So first I will select floating, and I will then select text. I'm going to drag it here, and then I will write bank loan overview, bank loan report overview. Okay. What I will do, I will increase the size of this font, and I will also change the font to Lato. Let me find the Lato font here. Oh, Lato. When I press, okay, so this is Lato, or I think Lato black will be perfect. Okay, and now I will apply the color to the text. So I'll make this white, and this part I will make it as this blue color, and I will apply. And now I will extend the size horizontally, and by, let me drag it over here. So this is bank loan report overview. Sorry, we will have to make it as a summary. It was my mistake. And let's center align this, all this text. Okay, I think it's perfect now. Let me just move it just a little bit. Okay, so this is perfect now. Now what we have to do next, we will start bringing the KPIs into our dashboard. So this is the first KPI, total loan applications. So I will just drag it. Make sure the plotting option is selected. So I'll drag it and just release it over here. This is the plotting option I'm talking about. So as you can see, the text is not visible. So we will make it, we will edit this. I will select this. I will make it 10. I will select the font as Seju, Seju semibold. Okay, and make it center aligned, and the color of the text is going to be this, and I will apply and I will release it. Now as you can see, there is a white background below this text, so we will right click on it in this area, and here we will come to this shading, and we will just click on none. So this has been applied. When I click on it, this is gone. Now we also have to change the color of this figure. So if I click on this and I click on this, go to sheet. So now we can change the color of this font from here. So I will just make it like this. Okay, apply, and okay. Now when I go back to, let me, can we hide this? Okay, now as you can see, this color has changed. Now we will just resize it to fit in this area. Okay, I think it looks perfect. Let me just resize it a bit more vertically. Okay, it's going to be perfect. Okay, so I think it looks perfect. Now we can just move it a little bit. We can move it up a little bit. Yeah, okay. Now we will also bring the mtd loan application. So I will bring it, I will drag it over here and release it, and we will do the same process again. So I will click on this. I will make it 10. Say you see me board. And say you see me board, it's center aligned, and it's going to be this color. Okay, and now I'll right click on this, format, shading, and none. Okay, so when I click on this, the shading is gone, and we will resize it. So as we don't have enough space for this whole title, so I will hide this title, and now we only have the value, and we will write the mtd in text, and we'll paste it here. So let me copy this over here first. And now I will click on text and I will write mtd. Let me drag it and release it here. Mtd, it's going to be Sergio Simibold. So this is Sergio Simibold. This is going to be 10, and let me just name it. This is going to be 10. This is going to be Sergio Simibold, and this is going to be the color. Okay, I will apply, and this is perfect. I just forgot one thing. Let me do this. We'll have to center align the text. So now it looks perfect. Let me just paste it over here. Okay. Now we will do the same process for the month over month total loan application. So I will drag it and release it over here. I will hide this title. I will right click on it, format, shading, none, and I will click in this area and I will just make it small. Okay, and now I will copy this, copy dashboard item and control V. So when I press control V, this is, so we will write it as month over month. So we will try to align it to the best possible uh, way, because the more these values are aligned, the better it will look. So I think we have aligned it. Yeah, it seems okay. I will move it just a little. Okay, so this is it for the month over month. I will move it to the left just a little. Okay, now what's going to be our next KPI? It's going to be the total funded amount. So I will drag it and release it over here, and I click on it. I will make it 10. I will select say Yosemite bold, the font. It's say Yosemite bold. I will center a line and I will make it as this color, and I will click on apply. Okay, now I will right here and I will click on format just to remove the shading from this figure. And now when I click on this, and this is black font, so I will have to make it white, and I will click on this go to sheet option, and from here I can make it as white. Apply. Okay, when I come to the dashboard again, it is now white, so we will just resize it to fit within the space we have. Okay, now I will have to import the MTD total funded amount. So I will drag it and release it over here. I'll do the same steps for these as well. So I will hide the title. I will right click on it and select format, remove shading, and I'll click on it and I will resize it. And then I will copy this, Control C, or let me copy it, and then I'll press Control V, and then I will drag it to this point. Okay, I think it looks perfect. Okay, now we will also bring the MOM, total funded amount. So I will just drag it and release it. I will hide the title. I will right click on it and format, shading, remove shading, and resize it. Okay, I will copy this, right click, copy dashboard item, and Control V, and I will drag it right over here. Okay, so this is month over month percentage, and this is MTD. Okay, now what's the next KPI that we will have? So guys, I'm just fast forwarding this video because the steps for the other three KPIs are the same, only the data will be different. So to save some time, I'm just forwarding this video. So guys, as we have already created these KPIs for the dashboard one, which is the summary dashboard, but according to the problem statement, we also have to, and we also have done these things. So for the dashboard one, which is the summary dashboard, we also have to calculate the good loan versus bad loan KPIs. And under the good loan, we also have to calculate the good loan application percentage, good loan applications, good loan funded amount, good loan total received amount, and same for the bad loan. We also have to calculate these terms, and then we will visualize it on the dashboard one. This is the requirement from the problem statement. So let me click on this. Okay, so here first of all, as you can see, we have already created these pages, so we'll have to create some space to create new pages to make it easy for us. So I'll click on the summary dashboard tab, and I'll right click on it, and I will click on hide all sheets. So you can see all the sheets are gone. Now I'll click on the new worksheet. I will rename it as good loan issued. And now what I have to do next, I will find the loan status dimension. Okay, this is the loan status. I'll right click on it. I'll create a group. I'll create a group, and here as we can see that in terms of loan status, we have three categories: current, fully paid, and charged up. So these two, current and fully paid, these fall under the category of good loan. So I'll make a group of it as good loan. And the charged up, this falls under the category of bad loan. So I will create another group of it as bad loan. And I will rename this field as good versus bad loan, and I'll click on apply. So as we can see that this measurement is created. Now what I have to do, I will just drag it and release it in the color tab, and from automatic I will select pie chart. Okay, and now I will click on the entire view. All right, and here I will write in the rows, I will write a formula. I'll double click on it, and I will write as average 0 when I right click on it. So okay, and now I will press Control and drag it and release it adjacent to itself. So we can see we have there are two pie charts created. And now I will click on the second one, and I will really remove the colors from it, right? And now I will right click on it, and I will click on dual axis. And now I'll click on the first one. I will increase its size to this much. Okay, maybe a little bit more. Okay, and I'll click on the size of this one, and I will increase it to this much. Just a little more. Okay, now I will click on this one, and let me find out the total loan applications. We have already calculated this measurement, so I will drag it and release it in the angle of the first one. So as we can see that the pie chart is created according to the number of good loans and bad loans. So as we can see, the bad loans are 5,333. So this much area has been taken by the bad loan, and as the good loan are more in quantity, 33,200. So the rest of the area is taken by the good loan. Now we will have to play with the colors of this pie chart. So I will click on the color. I'll click on the bad loan, double click, and I think this color is fine. This is black, and okay, and for the good loan I will actually the we will apply the color code. So it's already applied, but let me write it again. E, one second, E, E1C233. That's the color code for this color. Okay, so we'll click on apply, and we'll click on OK. So the color has been applied to this one. Now we will also have to apply color to this donut chart. So I'll click on color. I'll double click on this. So the color code we'll be using this time as 13223A. This is going to be the color which will exactly match with the background of the dashboard. So it will look like this part of the chart is invisible because it will match with the background. So this is for the pie chart. Let me do one thing now, and I'll go to the summary dashboard again. And what I will do, I will drag this thing, but keep in mind that this floating option is already selected. So I will drag it and release it over here. All right, and now what we'll have to do, I will right click on this title or double click on it, and write the title is good loan issued. I'll make the size of it as 11. I'll make it as tableau board. So where is tableau board? This is tableau board, and I'll make the color of it as this one that we have already used. And now as we can see, first let me change the size of it. So I'll go to layout, and I will make the size as 300 and 325, or if I make it as 325 and 300. Okay. Okay, when one thing I have to do, I'll have to center align this text. Apply. Okay. Now, as we can see, there is the shading behind this chart, so we'll have to remove this. I'll right click on it. I'll click on format. I will go to this shading, and I'll make it as none. Now, there are also some columns and axis lines, so let me also remove that. So we will make it as none, and we will also make the column divider as none, and in the rows, I'll make the zero line as none. All right. But as you can see, there is the header available visible here, so I will remove that as well. So I will click on this part, and I will uncheck the show header. So now when we go back to our dashboard, so I think this looks perfect now. When I also remove this legend, so I'll just remove it from dashboard by clicking on this. So this is the pie chart that's now created. So now we need in this part we need the good loan application percentage. So what I will do, I will create a new sheet, and I will call it as good loan application percentage. Okay. And in this sheet I will create a new calculated field. I will call it as good loan percentage, and now we will have to calculate the good loan percentage. So how do we do this? I will say if good loan versus bad loan is equal to good loan, then id. So what we will do, we will count the number of ids. So count. So this will count for us the IDs, all of the IDs that falls under the category of the good loan. But as we know that we have to calculate the percentage of the good loan versus the bad loan, so we will divide this. Okay, I forgot to end this statement and now we will divide it by the count of the total ID, total applications. So if we what does it mean? Actually, it counts the number of good loan application and divided by the count of the total loan application. So it will give us a percentage. Okay. So this is the good loan percentage. If I drag it over here, this will give me the value for the good loan percentage. Now what I will have to do, okay, now we have to make it as entire view, and I will also make it as center align, and I will also change the formatting of this font. I'll just make it 22. I'll make it tableau board. Where is tableau board? Okay, this is, and I'll choose the color as this one. Okay, and I click on apply. I'll click on OK. Now what we have to do, we'll have to convert it into percentage. So I will click on this. I'll right click on format, and I will click on percentage, and I will restrict this to only one decimal. Okay. Okay, so now we will have to go to our summary dashboard, and we will bring it over there. So let me go to the dashboard, and as we have calculated a good loan percentage, I will drag it and release it over here. I will hide the title, and I will remove the shading from this. So I'll go to the format, I'll go to shading, I'll make it as done, and we will just resize this. Okay, let's make it a little bigger. Okay, this looks fine, and we will have to take it over. No, actually we will have to take it over here because this is the good loan percentage. So we have already shown the chart, but we also have to show the figure. So I think this looks perfect. Now just let me align a little bit. Okay, so this is the good loan percentage. Now what we have to do, what's our next KPI requirement? It's the number of good loan applications received. So we will do it like this. Now we will have to find the total number of good loans. So I'll create a new sheet, and I will rename it as good loan applications. And what we have to do next, I will create a calculated field. I will call it as good loan uh, applications, and I will okay, then now we will write the formula. So how do we do this? I will count if good versus bad loan is equal to good loan, then id int. So what this formula does, it actually if the application falls under the category of good loan, then it will it will count only those applications. So when I click on apply and then okay, so if I drag it and release it over here, so as we can see, this is the total number of good loan applications. Let me change the format. I'll make it as a number custom, one decimal place, and in the form of thousands k. Okay. Now we will have to also do some formatting. So let me do it as one thing we have to do. We'll have to make it as entire view. and then I will do some further formatting. I'll make it as this color, and I'll make it as 20, and I'll make it as Seju semi-bold. Let me find that color. That won't. This is Seju semi-bold. Let me apply, and if we make it bold, I think that will be better. Okay, click on apply and okay. And we also have to rename the resize it and change the font as well. So I'll make it 11, and I'll make it as Seju semi bold. So where's Seju semi bold? This is Seju semi bold, and I click on apply and I click on OK. So now we have calculated the good loan applications. We also have to find out the good loan funded amount. Okay, so how do we do this? Let me just duplicate this page. I'll duplicate it and I will rename it good loan funded amount. Okay, so this is going to be the name of the page. And now what I have to do is I have already calculated this, so I will just duplicate it and just make little changes according to the current requirements.
Okay, and I will name it as.
Okay, so this is the copy. I will have to edit this and I will have to rename this good loan funded amount. And now the formula will be the same but just with the little changes. Now we will sum what the loan payment loan amount, sorry. So now when I click on apply and I click on OK, and now I will drag it and release it over here just over the top of the other measurement. So this is going to be the good loan funded amount. Now I'll have to make changes in terms of its formatting. So I'll make it currency custom, and this will be one decimal point, and now I will make it as million. So it's 370.2 million. So now as you can see, we have calculated good loan application percentage, then the good loan applications, then the good loan funded amount. What's the next requirement for the good loan? It's the good loan total received amount. So what we will have to do, we'll just duplicate this page and I will rename it as good loan received amount, and I'll do the same process as before. I will just duplicate this and I will edit this. I will rename it good loan amount received. But okay, so now the formula remains the same, but we only have to change this term. So it's total payment, or I think it's total payment. Yes, total payment is the amount that we have received back from the borrower. So we will click on apply and we will click on OK. So this is total amount received. I will just drag it and reduce it over the top, over this thing, this measurement, and I will change the formatting of it. I'll go to the format and I will click on this and currency custom, one decimal place and thousands. Okay, what did we do wrong? Okay, it has to be millions. It has to be in millions. Okay, so it's 435 million, 435.8 million. Now as we have calculated all these terms related to good loans, so we will go back to our summary dashboard. Let me take it to the right. Okay, so now what we have to do, we will click on the vertical container. I will make sure this is floating button is checked, and I will drag it over here and I will release it. And here I will go to the layout and I will make it as 300, and this the height has to be 75. Okay, okay, and what I have to do next, I will make a copy of it, copy dashboard item and control V, and again copy dashboard item and okay, control V. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to go to the dashboard again and we will drop all these KPIs into these sections. Okay, so this is a good loan issued, good loan application percentage, this is the good loan application. So let me but make sure this is now the style is now selected. So good loan applications, I will drag it and drop it over here. Okay, now what we need to do next, this is the good loan funded amount. So where is the good loan funded? This is the good loan funded amount. I will drag it and drop it over here, and then we have to good load also load the good loan received amount. So I'll do the same with this one as well. Now all we have to do is just to remove the shading and change the formatting of the text. So let me right click on it, format and shading, choose none, and then I will right click on it, format, shading, none, and now I'll right click on this, format, shading and none. Okay, and now this is okay, but we also have to change the color of this font as well. So I will select the off-white color for this, and same for this one, and only change the color of the font. So same way we do with this one. Okay, so it looks perfect now. So the way we have created this for the good loan, we will create the same way the charts and these terms for the bad loan as well. So for that, I will just create a duplicate copy of this, and I will drag it over here, and I will rename it as bad loan issue. Okay, and now as we have already created this thing, good loan versus bad loan, I will make a copy of it. And why I make a copy of it, duplicating it, sorry. And why I'm duplicating this, because for the bad loan we have to apply different coloring, because good loan and bad loan should not have the same coloring when it comes to the pie chart. So for that, I'll make a copy of it first. You will understand what I'm doing when we do this. So now what I have to do, I'll just drag this copy and release it over the top of this original one. Okay, so as you can see, now the colors has been changed. So what we have to do, we have to do the same process, but this time we have to make the color changed. So now we will use the hashtag. So the hashtag and this time will be DE00FF. Okay, this is going to be the color for the bad loan. And for the good loan, we are gonna use the black color, but the same as before, which was 676767. Okay, this is correct. And we will apply and okay. And now for this donut chart, we also have to change the color, and it's going to be 203864. 203864. Okay, it's correct now. So this will match with the background of the dashboard. So now we will open our summary dashboard, and I will drag it over here, but make sure the floating is selected. So this is going to the bad loan. I will just drag it and release it over here. We will do the same process again. I will go to the layout and will make it as 325 by 3325. Okay, so this is going to be our bad loan. Let me just confirm this is the same as this one. Okay, this one is 325 by 300, and this one is 325 by 325. So I'll make it the same as this one, and now we will check. Let's make it perfectly aligned. Okay, I think this looks perfect now. What we have to do next, we will do the same process that we did for the good loan. So we will create good loan applications, bad loan applications, and then bad loan funded amount and bad loan received amount. So what I will do, I will first copy this one as the bad loan application percentage. I'll duplicate it, and I will drag it to the right, and I'll rename it as bad loan application percentage. Okay, I have renamed it, and for the measurement, I'll just make changes to this good loan percentage. I'll duplicate this. Where is the duplicate? Okay, there is a duplicate, and I will edit this. So when I edit it, I will call it as bad loan percentage, and now we just have to change this thing. It's going to be bad loan. Okay, I'll click on apply, and I click on OK. And now what we have to do, there is going to be the bad loan measurement. Where's it? It's going to be over here. I'll just delete it for the top of the good loan. So this is going to be the bad loan percentage. I'll go to the format. I'll make it into percentage, and I'll restrict it into only one decimal place. Right now, this is okay, bad loan application percentage. We'll go back to our summary table, and I will drag it to our dashboard. The bad loan application percentage. So I will drag it over here. I just have to resize it. Okay, one thing I'll have to do, I'll have to hide the title. Okay, and now we will just make it perfectly aligned with the other one. Okay, so this is for the bad loan. I think we will have to play with it just a little. Okay, it looks perfect now. Now we also have to find the bad loan application, so I will just duplicate this, and I will drag it to the right, and I will rename it as bad loan applications, and I will remove this. Okay, and as we have the good loan applications, this is the good loan applications. I'll have to duplicate it and make changes accordingly. So this is good loan applications copy. I'll edit this. So what I'll have to do, I'll have to remove this thing, and I'll have to write it as bad loan applications, and I'll have to just replace this with bad. Okay, and now I'll click on apply, and where's the bad loan applications? So this is the bad loan applications. I will just copy it and release it over here. So this is 5.333, which okay, which we already had confirmed. Let me just convert it into percentage and make it restricted. What did I do wrong? Format. Oh, I think I made a mistake. It has to be number, and it has to be one decimal place, and it has to be in K. Okay, this is perfect. Now we also have to find the good loan funded, bad loan funded amount. So I'll duplicate this one and I'll drag it to the right, and I'll rename it bad loan funded amount. Okay, and what I have to do next is I have already good loan funded amount. I created this calculated bit, so I will duplicate it and edit it accordingly. So I'll edit this. I'll call it as a bad loan funded amount. Let me do this bad loan funded amount, and here I will just replace this good with bad. Okay, I click on apply. I click on okay. So where is the bad loan funded amount? Let me drag it over the top of this thing, release it, and now I will make it in a perfect format, which is the currency custom. It has to be one decimal place and it has to be million. Okay, so this is the bad loan funded amount. Now we have to also good loan received amount, so we'll have to find a good loan funded amount, bad loan received amount. So let me duplicate this and let me take it to the right. Okay, it's going to be bad loan received amount. And what we have to do next, where is the good loan received amount? This is the good loan amount received. I'll duplicate this and I will edit this accordingly. I'll just call it as bad loan received amount received. So how do we do this? It's bad and it's going to be bad. Apply. So I think we have created all the required terms in the KPI. Yeah, bad loan total amount received, funded amount. So okay, so we'll follow the same process as we did before. Let me go to the summary tab. Okay, so first I'll have to select this vertical and floating, and I will drag it over here, and I will resize it. So the layout has to be uh, 300 and this has to be 75. Okay, I will bring it over here. By the way, I'll have to remove this thing as you don't need it. So let me first, okay, let me copy this dashboard item and control V. Copy dashboard item, control V. Okay, so now we have to drag all the required terms into these sections. So where are those bad loan? Okay, so this is going to be the bad loan applications. Let me drag it over here. Oh, sorry, I'll have to make it as tiled, and now I will again drag this into this. Okay, so this is going to be the bad loan applications, and now the bad loan funded amount. So this is going to be the bad loan funded amount, and now this is going to be the bad loan received amount. When we want to move it, we just have to double click on this button, and when the borders become blue, we'll be able to move it. So now as we have created the good loan and the bad loan application, all the terms related to them, so I will again right click on this summary tab and I'll hide all these sheets so we can free up some space. And now if we look at the problem statement, and there is we are required to create a loan status grid view. Okay, so how do we do this? So first of all, I will create a new sheet which is loan status. Okay, and in this loan status, what we're going to do, I will drag this loan status into the rows. Okay, and then I will find the total loan applications. Where is it? Okay, this is the total loan applications. I'll bring it into text. Okay, and then I will also drag the other mention. Then we have to let me okay. Then we have to show the total funded amount. So I will just double click on this, and then we also have to show the total amount received. Then we also have to show the month to date total loan amount, total funded amount. Let me just click. Okay, let me just find its total amount. So I'll have to find the total amount to date total funded amount and month to date total amount received. Okay, and now what we have to do. Okay, so this is a total amount received, this is total funded amount, and okay, this is total MTD. So I'll have to first drag this to the top, and this has to be at the second place. Okay, total amount received, total funded amount, MTD total. Where is the other one? One second. Okay, it's total amount received and it's total funded amount. Okay, and then it's MTD total amount received, it's MTD total funded amount, it's total loan applications. Total amount received, total funded amount, total loan applications, and next we have to also find also place the average interest rate. So where is it? It's average interest rate is going to be at the top. Average interest rate, average DTI. So these values are zeros, but when we will change the formatting of it, then it will give us a proper value. So what we do next, we will make it an entire view, and now I will we will change the formatting of these values. So how do we do this? Let me select the format. So it's total amount received. So what we have to do? Okay, how do we do this? Sorry, I think we have to change it from here. Yes, this is the correct way to do this. So the formatting will have to be its total amount received, so it has to be currency custom, and the same as before, one decimal place and million. Okay, now we will have to change the formatting for this as well. So it's total funded amount, so we'll have to make it currency custom, one decimal place and millions, and then we have the total amount received. So it's also it has to be in currency custom format, one decimal place and million, and then we have the total funded amount, so it has to be the same format as with the other three. So it has to be currency custom, it has to be one, it has to be millions, and then we have the total applications, loan applications, so we'll have to make it as number custom, we'll have to make it as one decimal place, and we have to make it as k in the pound k units, and then we have the average DTI, so we'll change the format into percentage, and then same we will do for the average interest rate, so we'll have to convert it into percentage and one decimal place. So we are done for the formatting, and we will drag it to the top, because on the basis of these applications all the other values are calculated. What we do now, we will bring this sheet to our dashboard. So let me bring it over here, but first we'll have to make this floating, and we will bring it over here. Okay, so we will just extend it so it can fit this area. Okay, and now what we will have to do, we'll have to double check on this title, we'll have to make it 11 and tableau bold. Where's tableau bold? Okay, and the color has to be this one that we already used for the other titles. Now we will do the formatting, so I'll right click on this, I'll click on format, I will just remove the shading, none. Okay, then there is another option, row banding, so we don't want that. Okay, and we also have to make this is already none, so yeah, we also have to make it none, so the banding is also gone. So now what we will do, we will come to this text option, and from here we have the field. So the first thing we will have to make changes to its the measure name. So it's tableau bold, we'll make it just 10, and the color has to be this. Okay, and it has to be bold, and we also have to do some other changes, which is okay, so we'll make it a center and we'll have to turn it on. Okay, and let me take this down. Okay, okay, it looks good now. And then comes the measure value, so we will just make it in this color. Okay, we will make it bold, and let me make it as Seju semi bold. Where is Seju semi bold? Okay, and okay, one another thing we have to do, but this is not very clearly visible. I think we will have to increase the size, and we also have to make it tableau bold. Where is tableau? Where is tableau bold? Okay, and we also have to make it center aligned. So if we make it like this, okay, now it looks perfect. Can we play with the color? I think this is the brightest in the blue shades. Okay, it's okay, I think it works fine. And then we have the loan status. So loan status, we have to make it as 11. We have to make the color as white. Okay, and tableau medium, I think it looks good now. Now we also have to show the grand totals. So if I go to analysis, and there is the totals, and then show column grand totals, so this will show us the grand totals. And then for the field okay, let me check where we can make this. So we will have to change this color of the grand total, so where from where we can do this. Okay, it's over here, so we will make it as white, but we will all select the measure values, and then we will make it as white. Okay, so now these are white in color. It looks perfect. Now one last thing we have to do. We have to go to the shading, and we have to just make this total black, and also this header black. Okay, and also grand total is already black. So I think this looks perfect now. All right. So now what we have to do next, we have to create these navigation buttons from where we can navigate from one dashboard to another, and we also have to create these filters over here. So how do we do this? I will go to one of these sheets. Okay, and the first filter we have to apply is this is for the um, to the first. It should be verification status. I think verification status. I will drag it to the filter option, and I will use all, and I apply, and then okay. The next thing we have to do the filtering on. It's going to be the purpose. So I will again use all and apply, and okay. What should be the next? Its verification status, its purpose. What should be the next term that we can filter on the basis of that? One thing we can do on the basis of grade. So this is going to be our grade filter. I'll use all and apply, and okay. Now if I want to this filter to work on all the pages, I will just right click on it and apply to worksheets, and all using this data source. And now I will again use do the same thing for this one, and then I will repeat the same step for this one, all using this data source. Okay, so guys, we have created all the filters for this dashboard. So let me bring them one by one. So I'll right click. I'll click on this drop down arrow, and I will come to filters, and I will select purpose. So when I select purpose, so this will I'll right click on it, and I will click on the multiple values drop down. Okay, and then I will bring it over here. We can also change the formatting of this table. Let me. Okay, this is the format. So all filters and set controls, we will do the same for all. We will do it uh, like a universal formatting for all the filters. Okay, so I will just resize it to fit it in within this window. I think for this dashboard we need only three filters, but in the template I created four, but we will leave that as a blank. Okay, so this is for the this is on the basis of the purpose of. So if I uncheck this, we can see all the values are gone. So now if I check on one of this, if I only click on car, so you will see the values for the loan taken only for the purpose of car. So if I want to see a combination of car and house, so I can also do that. So we can do different type of analysis using these filters. Okay, so this is the purpose filter. Now we will do another one, which will be on the basis of the which will be let me just resize it to make it look perfect. Okay, now it looks good. So the other thing we have to do, I'll have to bring another filter. We'll go to the filters, and we'll bring the verification status, and I will also select this as multiple values drop down, and I will bring it over here. See, this the same setting is now applied to all the filters formatting, but we only have to do one change in the font. So this will be on the basis of verification status. I don't know why this screen is behaving like this. Okay, so we will make it as white, and I'll make it as Tableau medium or Tableau semi bold. Okay, and let me apply. Okay, I will also do the same to this one as Tableau medium, and we set it as white. Apply. Okay, now we need to bring another filter to this point. By the way, if we just change the formatting, we select if we select a little okay, if we say this yeah, now it looks good. Okay, we need to bring another filter. This will be for the grades. Let me drag it over here. All right, so we have placed all the three filters over here. If I just want to check like on the basis of grade, if I just want to uncheck all this, the all, and I just want to see the results for the A grade, then all the results will change accordingly. So this is all about the filters for this dashboard. So guys, as we can see that for the overview dashboard, and this part remains the same. These will be just like the previous dashboard. But if you look at the dashboard requirements for the dashboard 2, which is the overview dashboard, so we will have to create charts. And the first one will be monthly trends by issue date, then which will be a line chart. Then we will create a new chart, another one, a regional analysis by state, which is by field map. Then loan term analysis, it's going to be a donut chart. Then employee length analysis, it's going to be a bar chart. Loan purpose breakdown, it's going to be a bar chart as well. And then the last one will be a tree map, so it's going to be on the basis of ownership analysis. So these charts will help us to dig deeper into the data, so we can derive some more insights, some useful insights, and it will help us further analysis of the data. So let's start by creating the first requirement, which is monthly trends by issue date, which is going to be a line chart. So let's start. So we will create our first worksheet, which we will call a month. And okay, and this sheet, whatever we are going to do the calculation, it will be on the basis of the issue date. So I will drag this issue date to the column, and I will make it as month. Okay, and I will also change the view to entire view. I think we just make a mistake. Let me click this one. Yeah, this one is correct. So I'll click on the month and then entire view. So as we can see that on the for the line chart, we have to do three things. One second, let me show you. So this is the correct one. So when we create the monthly line chart, like the line chart on the basis of monthly trends of issue date, so we will have to consider these three metrics. It will be on the basis of metrics to total loan applications, total funded amount, and total amount received. So simply we have to create three charts within a chart, and that chart will be on the basis of these three parameters. So whenever we click one parameter, the result of the chart will change accordingly, and then it will show us the results according to that parameter. For example, if I click on this total loan application, then on the basis of issue date, then the chart will show us that how much loan applications were submitted on this particular issue date or in this month. When I change it to total funded amount, then it will show us the result for the funded amount on the basis of that issue date. And when I change it to amount received, then the results will change accordingly and will show us the amount received on the basis of issue date. So that is how we are going to design this line chart. So it will be simply we can say it's going to be a dynamic chart. So to make this chart dynamic, we'll have to create dynamic calculations so that the chart can change its value based on the parameter we provide. So for that, I will come to this drop down icon, and I will create a parameter. So when I click on this, okay, so I'll give it a name. I will give it a name as select measure, and then the value is going to be string, and then we will create a list of what the measures of the parameters are going to be. So the first one is going to be uh, total loan applications. uh, just make sure that this spelling is correct. Don't write it wrong, otherwise it will make problems. So you'll have to write the spellings correct, and it's also case sensitive. So make sure that this is correct in terms of case sensitiveness and also the spellings. Otherwise we will not be able to get correct results, or maybe we don't even get any results. So our next parameter is going to be total funded amount, and then our third parameter is going to be it's going to be total amount received. Okay, so these are going to be our three parameters on the basis of which we will create our dynamic line chart. And before we click on OK, what does this mean? So the current value is now current total loan application. So whenever we open the workbook, it will shows the value by default as the total loan applications, and then we can change it from one parameter to another, like total funded amount or total amount received. So this way it will work. So let me click OK, and then I will click on this select measure, and I will click on show parameters. So now, like as you can see, by default this is total loan applications. Now if I change it, so the value will change accordingly. But now, as we haven't created our chart first, so we'll create our line chart first. Okay, but before we create the chart, how are we going to connect these parameters to this chart? For that, we will create a calculated field, and I will call it as dynamic measure. And how do we do this? It's going to be so if it's going to be an if statement. If select measure is equal to total loan applications, then what should be the value? If we select a total loan application, then the value it has to be total loan applications. And then else if select measure is equal to total funded amount, then total funded amount. Else else if select measure is equal to total amount received, then what we have to do, it will select total amount received, and then we have to print the statement. So it says the calculation is valid, so we'll apply this and we'll click on OK. So guys, our dynamic measure is now created, so I'll click on OK, and what I will do, I will just drag this dynamic measure and I will place it in the rows. So here you can see we have this line chart. So instead of automatic, we can, by the way, we can now change the values for the total funded amount, total amount received, and you will see that the chart changes accordingly. So it's a dynamic chart now, and instead of automatic, we will select area chart. All right, and now I will click on this this dynamic measure, controlling the whole key, the control key. I will drag it and release it adjacent to it. Okay, and now what I will do, I will convert this chart into line chart. Okay, and I will make it as I'll make it as dual axis. So this is now the chart we have. One is about the other, and let me remove this let me hide this header, so I'll uncheck this option because we don't need it. But I think I forgot to check one thing. Let me show the header first. Okay, let me, and okay, we have to check this option. This is synchronize axis. Okay, and now I will hide the header, so I'll uncheck this. And now we have to change the color of this chart as well, so I will select this one. Let me check H11ADF. This is the color code for this. Okay, so, and now I'll change the color of this one as well, so I'll make it as this one. All right, so we have changed the color. I think we also have to do a little more formatting to this, so I will first select this chart and I will make the color as transparent to maybe around 45%. Okay, and then I will increase the size of this chart, so let's do it. I think this is perfect. Okay, and now as I want this chart to be dynamic, so I'll have to do one thing more. I will double click on it and I will remove this. I will click on insert and select measure, and then I'll write as by month, and I will also change the formatting. I'll make it as 11 tableau semi bold, and the color is going to be this one that we are already using in the previous chart. So let me apply this. So now if I change these options, you can see total funded amount by month, total amount received by month, and total loan applications by month. So I have made the title dynamic as well. So what I'll have to do next, I will bring this chart into the overview tab. So I will just make sure this is floating, and I will drag it over here, and now I will resize it according to the space we have. So let me do this. Okay, so let me right click on it and format, because the name is here we have very little space available. So what I'll do, I'll make it as the first letters of the months. It looks fine now, and now I will also remove the shading from this chart, and then we will have to remove the row divider, and the column divider is none, and we will also have to remove the zero lines, and the axis sticks is none, and we also have to make the rows as grid lines as this. Correct, and now I will click on this and I will click on format, and let me change the color first, and I'll make it as tableau semi bold. So I think it looks perfect now. And we also have to remove this thing. Oh, sorry, 1 second. We don't have to remove this because this is the filter. So what I'll do, I will just drag it down to this column, and now I will drag this one also down, and I will drag this one also down, and now I will drag this one to this point, and let me resize it accordingly. Okay, and now I will click on format all parameters, and I will make it as white in color. Okay, it looks fine now. And we will also change the shading of this to maybe this color. Yeah, and also for this I'll make the shading to, it's already in this color. Let me check. So it's the same parameter. Let me click on this. Let me select this one, format. Okay, so shading will be this color, so it looks fine now. Okay, so these are the four filters that we have set in this place. Now if we want to check whether our chart is dynamic or not, so if we click on these options, you will see that it is dynamic. If I uncheck this and if I click on this car option, you will see that this is how it looks. So our chart is completely dynamic according to all the parameters or the filters that we have created in this dashboard. So it looks perfect. Now, according to the requirements, we also have to create field map, regional analysis by state. So let's do this as well. Let me take to the Tableau and let's create another sheet by the name of state. Okay, now if we look at these measures, we have these two auto-generated, latitude and longitude. So these are auto-generated because we have this dimension which belongs to geographical data type. So these are that's why these are created automatically. So let me double click this one and this one as well. So now what we have to do, we'll have to just drag this thing and release it over the details. So when we do this, longitude, one second, what's the problem here? Okay guys, actually there was, I don't know why the it was not working, but let me repeat the steps. This time it will be okay. So I'll double click on the latitude and I'll double click on the longitude. Okay, and what I have to do next, I'll just copy this address state and I will release it over the details. So now as you can see that these are the states in the United States of America. And now instead of this map, I will select this is I will click on this one. This is the field map. Okay, so this is the field map, and now I will exclude this Alaska state, exclude, and I will also exclude this one just for simplicity. Okay, so these are the states. Okay, so now what we need to do next, actually I excluded those two states because just to make it best fit in the dashboard. So what we have to do next, I will select the dynamic measure and I will place it into the, so we will take this and we will put it into details. No, we will put it into colors. So okay, so now this colors is applied to this match, this map, and now what we need to do next, we'll have to change this color as well. So if I click on this, edit colors, and I will select gray and stepped color and apply, and okay. So finally what we have to do next, we will just make it as parameter select measure by state, and we will also apply some formatting to it. We'll make it as 11 and we will make it a semi bold, and we will select the color as this one and apply, and okay. Now we will go to our overview dashboard and we will drag it and release it into this dashboard, and we will resize it. Okay, okay, what next, we'll click on this, right click on this in format, and we will have to just remove the shading. And now this time we will right click on this, and we will also change what's the show floating order, deselect, remove from header, highlights, filters, legends. 1 second, I think it's yeah, okay, it's over here, background layers. So what we have to do, we will have to just select dark. Okay, there is still some these boundary lines, so we will click on format, we will remove it from here. So this looks perfect now, and we also have to get rid of this because we don't need it. So I will just click on this. These were actually the legends. So now if we just hover over this map, it will show us, like if I select this, the total amount received. So the darker color shows us that the maximum total amount received is within California. If we look for total funded amount. So again, California is the darkest one. But as you can see, the tooltip, we can change the tooltip here. It's showing that it has a dynamic measure. So what we can do, we will click on this, and we can do one thing. We can click on tooltip, and instead of this, we will select okay, and we click on this. And now when I go to my dashboard again, so now this time it says total funded amount, right? If I change this to total loan applications, now it will show this loan application. Here it's the same, we have the same issue here. So I will click on this. I will also change this one. So on tooltip, I will just, instead of dynamic measure, I will click on parameter select and okay. So now if I go back to my dashboard, and now you can see, right, this is changing. Okay, somewhere it's showing dynamic measure. I don't know why, but it has to show it is like the parameter name. Let me check again. So if I come to this point, yeah, okay, we also have to change it over here. So if I click on this, select this one, and parameter select, and okay. So now if I go to my overview dashboard, now we don't have the problem, right? So this was the problem that we just solved. Okay, now what we need to, so guys, as we have created these two, now if we look at the requirements page on the number 3, we have to create a donut chart for the long term analysis. So let's do this. First of all, I will create a new sheet. I will rename it as a term, and I will drag it to the left of the overview. And now let's do the process. So first of all, I will select this pie chart, and then I'll take this term and release it over the colors. And then what I can do, I will make as entire view, and I will write the formula in the row, and the rows is 0, that we already had done this process. So we are just repeating it. So I will hold the control key, and I will drag it to the right and release it. So now two donuts are created. So from the second one, I'll have to just remove this this coloring, and I will make it as dual axis. Okay, and the first one, we also have to do one thing. I'll take this dynamic measure, and I will drop it on the angle, and I'll make the size of it is this much. Okay, and for the second one, I'll make the size is this much, or maybe just a little smaller. Okay, and now what we have to do, we will by holding the control key, I will drag this and drop it to a label, so we can also have the data labeled. So now what I will do, I will go to the quick table collection, and one second, I'll go to the quick table collection, and I'll make as a percent of total. Okay, now I'll change the color of it. So I'll go to the color, click on more color, and here I will give it a color code, which is 2203864. This will match the color with the background. And now I will select on this. So already these are correct color, but if we double click on this, so from here we have to select Tableau 20. So you will get these two combination. So okay, now what we have to do, I will right click on it, and I'll click on format. What I can do, I'll make it as off-white, and I'll make it as Tableau semi-bold, and we will see the result on the overview. So let's go to the overview dashboard, and from here I will drag it to the, but make sure this floating button is checked. So I will drag it over here. So first of all, okay, I just forgot one thing. Let me delete this from here, and I will go to the return page again, and I will do one thing. I'll double click this. I will make it as parameter select measure, and I will write as by what am I doing, term. Okay, and I will select this whole, and I'll make it as Tableau semi-bold, make it 11, and I'll give it a color of light blue or sky blue. Okay, no, so let's take it to the dashboard now. So now we can see that this looks fine. We will do the resizing to put it within this space, and let me do this thing. Okay, now what we have to do next, we will have to right click on it and format, and I will remove the shading, and I will also have to remove the, okay, I will remove the borders, the row divider, none, and then there is the column divider. I'll make it as well, and we also have to remove the zero lines. So I will make it as none as well. And by the way, I forgot to do one thing. I'll go to the term page, and from here I will just remove the header, hide the header. So now it fits into the space that we have. Now the next thing we have to do, we just have to right click over here and uncheck this title, so the title is gone, we don't need it. And now I will click on this thing, and one second, I will click on this thing and arrange items, and it's single row. I'll make it a single row, and I will increase the length, and I will decrease the height, and I'll drag it over here just to make it fit in this area. Okay, I think it looks fine now. So now our next task is going to be, let me open this. Okay, it's going to be the bar chart on the basis of employee length. So we will create an bar chart for employee length analysis. So I'll create a new page, and I will name as emp length. Okay. And now what we have to do, as we already have this employee length, where is it? It's employee length. Yeah, we already have this, so you just drag it to the rows, and then I will drag the dynamic measure to the columns, and I will make it as the entire view, and I will just hide the this header, and also I don't need this one. And for the color, I will go to the colors, more colors, and we will just give it a color code, which is AC95DA. Okay, and now I will rearrange it in descending order, and I will also drag this to the label so I can see the labels. 1 second, I have to do this with control, holding the control key. Now I will have to change the formatting, so I will come to the current number custom, make it 1 decimal point, and make it in the palm up case. So this is this looks perfect now. And we also have to rename this the same way as we did for the other charts. We will do it by a employee length. And what we have to do next, we'll have to just make it 11. We have to make it as Tableau semi-bold, and we'll have to make it like this, and I'll click on apply, click on OK. Now what we have to do next, we'll have to just drag it to our chart, our dashboard. So where is the employee length? This is the emp length. So I will just drag it over here, and I will resize it accordingly. So let me just now we have to do the formatting. So I'll go to the formatting, I will remove this, I'll make it as none. Then I'll go to rows, and I'll make this grand total. Okay, go to this, we'll make this grand total none, and this is row divider is already none. We'll also have to make it as none. Column divider is already none, so we'll have to make it this one is none, this one is none, and column drop lines. 1 second. Okay, rows drop lines. Okay, so here is the column divider. We'll have to make it as none. It's already none, but where is this? Okay, so these are all none. Let me check where is this line coming from. This is already none. I will also go to this is none, and now we'll make just everything as none just to find out. I think this, okay, this is also okay. Actually it was coming from this, so we just have to make one thing, we just have to resize it a little bit. Take it inside a little. Okay, it looks fine now. And for the values, I will right click on it, I'll format it, and then it's going to be of white in color, and I'll make it as Tableau medium. Okay, and make it as 10. I think we also have to show headers. Let me just resize it. If we go to this page, and if I click on this and show headers, because we need them. So let me go back to this point, and then okay, we have to okay, what do we have to do next? But in the employee length, I think we have to remove this thing. Can we remove it? From where we can remove this thing? Okay, now it's fine. So let me go to the, okay, it looks better now. Now we also have to make changes to this color because it's not visible. So if we right click on the format, and from here we click on the aggregate dynamic measures, and then on the font tab we select this, so it will be highlighted, and we also have to make it semi bold to make it more visible, so it looks fine now. Furthermore, I think we also have to do some formatting with this thing. So the color is all right, but let me do the alignment. Yeah, it looks good now. Now we'll go ahead and create our next chart, which is going to be, let me see what we have to design now. It's going to be a bar chart on the basis of the loan purpose. So for that, I will create, and let me take it to the right. I'll create a new sheet. I will call it as purpose. And or what I can do, I'll delete this, and let me just duplicate this, and I will name it as purpose. And we don't have to do anything else, but we just have to take this purpose and drop it right over the employee length, and we just have to make it in descending order, and also I'll have to rename it by purpose. Okay, apply and okay. And for the colors we will have to apply it color code DE00FF. So this is going to be a wing color, so it looks fine now. Let me go to the overview, and let me drag it into this spot. So here I'll have to just format it again. I'll make it as left aligned. Okay, and please don't forget to do one thing. We will have to make the tooltip. We'll also have to make it like it shows us dynamic measure. So what we have to do, we'll have to go to the tooltip, and here we just have to make it like this. Parameter select, and then it's okay. Now it shows us total loan applications, total loan applications. I think we need to remove this thing. You don't need this. One second, I will just remove this thing, and we'll see again. So 60 months, we will also have to remove the average. So I will just remove this thing. We don't need this one as well. So now if we look at its term 60 months, total loan applications, term 36 months also. So it looks good now. If we go to this, we also have to make changes to the tooltip again. So I will just make it like parameter select measure, and then I will do the same for this one as well. Okay. So now if we look at our dashboard, it will not show us as dynamic measure, but it will show us the parameter name on the basis of which we are analyzing it. Okay. So now what thing we have to do? I think we have to do the tree map on the basis of home ownership. Yes, it's a tree map. Okay, let's do this. I will create a new page, and I will name it as home ownership. Okay, and now I will find that measure home ownership. I think it has to be here in the dimensions. Yeah, and I will release it over here. Okay, and I will take this dynamic measure, and I will place it into the rows. So by default some chart is created, but I will select a tree map chart from here, and as you can see, this coloring is on the basis of dynamic measure. So I will remove it, and I will holding the control key, I will take it to the home ownership. I will take it to the colors, and for the colors we will select the tableau 20, assign palette. Okay, and this is our tree map ready. And we also need the label, so I'll hold the control key, and I'll take it this dynamic measure, and I will release it on the label. Okay. And then what I have to do, I have to go to the format, or I can also where I can change. Okay, I can change it from here. So I'll just make it tableau semi bold, and I will click on apply, and I click on OK. But before we drag it to the chart, to the dashboard, I will just do the same process as we did to the other sheets. I will write as by home ownership. I'll click on apply, but before we do that, we have to do some formatting. So I will semi bold, and then I will select this color, and I will click OK, and now we will drag it to our dashboard. So how do we do this? I will Yeah, this is the table that the chart that we want to place on this dashboard. So I will just drag it over here. By the way, we have to get rid of this thing. I'll have to remove this thing. Don't need it. And then drag it over here. Okay, and now what I have to do, mm, I'll have to go to the formatting, and here I'll have to remove the, I think we just have to remove the shading from here. Yeah, I think that's good now. Let me just drag it. So now we have created our chart, home ownership, on the basis of home ownership, so it looks fine now. So finally we have created our dashboard number 2, which is the overview dashboard, and now we will move to our next dashboard, which is simple and won't take that much time as these one did. And we also have to place the buttons here, the navigation buttons here. So these two tasks are remaining, so we will do it now. So guys, we have reached the last part of our project, which is the last dashboard for the details. So let me do one thing. Let me remove all these things. First, let me just duplicate this thing. Okay, I have just duplicated it. So I will now call it as details. Let me capitalize it. Okay. And now I'll remove these things because I don't need them for this dashboard. These KPIs will remain the same, but we just have to make changes to it. So I will click on this. I will edit the image, and now I will choose another image for the background, which is this summary dashboard. Okay, I'll open it, and I will click on apply, and I will click on OK. So we have the overview dashboard. Now we will bring the grid view chart over here. So what we have to do next, I will create a new sheet first. I will call it as details tab. Okay, and what I have to do, I will first take the ID and I will place it over here. So let me just place all members. And then the next thing we have to find is the purpose. Where is purpose? Let me just, okay, here we have. I will place it over here. And then after that, we have to find the home ownership. It has to be somewhere. Okay, let me just search it. Home ownership. And place it over here. And then the grade. So this is the grade. And then the subgrade. Where is the subgrade? This is the subgrade. Then I'll have to find the issue date. Where is the issue date? This is the issue date. I will drag it over here. And the next thing I'll have to find is the loan amount. So where is the loan amount? I will drag this loan amount to this point. Okay. And then you also have to find the interest rate, which is the interest. I'll just double click on it. So it will be added to this. Okay. And then I will also click on the installment. The next thing we have to show here, it's the loan amount. So we also have to find the installment is already there. We'll have to find the total payment. Where is the total payment? I think this is the total payment. So the total payment is actually the amount received. So I'll just double click on it. Okay. We just have to reshuffle these values, rearrange it. So the first one I want is I want the first one to be the loan amount. Let me drag this one to the top. And then I want the interest rate. And then I want the installment. Okay, it looks fine now. And one thing we have to do, we'll have to just make it as fit so it can fit into this the fit available. It's taking a little time because the file has got heavier. We have so many data in this file, so that's why it's taking time. but let me deal with that as well once this computing is completed. Okay, so first of all, let me bring that details tab over here. I will bring it over here. I will just make it make the this data a little bit lighter, so I'll click only one option. Let me do it for house. Okay, I just have to uncheck this thing first. It's taking a lot of time. Let me uncheck this. Let me select only one. So now we'll be able to first let me remove this. Let me hide this title first, and then I will drag it to the available according to the available space. I will resize it. Now we will have to play with the formatting of this thing. So let me, okay, first of all, I'll remove the shading from it. And now as you can see, we will have to just, the banding is still there. So if I increase it, let me increase it. We can do it from here. Okay. And now I will change the color. So I'll make it like blue, and I'll make it the same blue as well. This one. Okay. So this way it looks fine now. But let me do formatting for the numbers as well, and we also have to remove these lines. Now we will have to make changes to the font as well. First of all, I will select the measure name. One second. Why it's not okay? Let's wait for the program to respond. It's taking little time to respond. Okay, so now we can do this. We can select the measure names. We can select as this color for the measure names, and we will also tell the semi-volt. Looks fine now. And also for the alignment, we will turn on the wrap, and then we will just increase it like this. And one thing we have to do, we have to make it like this, or maybe this. No, this one is, this one looks fine to me. Then we will come to the major values, and we will make it as W medium, and we will make the color of it as white, or maybe this one. And then we also have to change these things. So first I will go to the grades, and I'll make it like this, W medium, and this color. And then I'll go to the home ownership and make it white and table medium. This one is also done. Now we'll have to make changes to the ID tab. We first make table medium. Okay, and this is going to be white as well. We also have to make changes to the purpose. So table book, instead of this, we'll select this one and we'll make it as white. And then we have this the grade. So we will repeat the same process for all of these uh, measures. And sum of installment. No, this is a year of issue date. Where is it? Okay, this one. Make it table medium white. But then we can also do one thing. We can increase the size of these rows so it looks better now. I will also remove the column divider. Okay, and one thing we can do, we will go to this page, and I will click on this here, and I will select the exact date, and then it will take some time because the data is okay, and we will make it as discrete. So now if I come back to my details dashboard, now I'll have to go to formatting. So here we have to select table medium and white color. Okay, so this is done. And let me just increase the size again, so it looks perfect now. Now the last part that we have to do is to create the navigation buttons to fit in these three spots. So first of all, let me get rid of these pages. I will hide them all so we can free up some space in this bar. I think Okay, I think okay, it shows it, the tabs are hidden, but okay, let me do it for this one as well. Okay, now we have hidden um, all the sheets related to the overview and the details. Okay, so now we are going to create the buttons for the navigation from one dashboard to another. So we will drag this navigation to this point. Okay, and I will double click on it. So navigate to, so this is overview. Let me first let me start it from here, from the summary. Okay, so I will just drag this navigation button over here. We will have to wait until the dashboard loads. Okay, okay, I am now dragging this navigation button over here, and I'll double click on it. This will navigate to the summary dashboard, and I will name it as summary, and the font is going to be table bold. It has to be black, and it has to be 11, and the background has to be this one. And I click on the apply and okay. So this is the navigation button. We will just have to resize it. So now we also have to create the two other buttons for the overview and the details tab. So I'll just make a copy of this. I'll copy this and I'll paste it again, and I'll bring it over here, and I'll double click on it. Okay, so instead of summary, I will change it to overview. I will change the name as well, overview. And then one thing I have to do, I'll make this font white or up white, and I'll make this background color as this, because I want to show that on the page, like when we are on the summary page, so only the summary button should be like highlighted and another two will be dim. So let me apply and click OK. So this is our overview. Now I will again copy this, copy dashboard item and control V, and I will bring it over here. Okay, and I will double click on it, and I will choose details, and I will rename it as details. Okay, apply and okay. So these are our navigation buttons. Now what I will do, I will just copy this and I will paste it on the overview button as well. So this is going to be our dashboard, summary dashboard. I just have to make changes to this, only the formatting. So I'll make it as up white, and I'll make this thing then this button. So when I apply on it, okay, now what I have to do, I'll just copy the overview button from over here, copy, and I will paste it in the overview button, in the overview dashboard. So let me just drag it over here. Okay, this is, it looks perfect. Just okay, and I will double click on it, and I will change the what was actually the color of the font. Let me check. When the button is highlighted, so the color of the font is black. So I'll click on this, double click, and I'll make it as black, and I'll make this color as blue, and let me press okay. Now I will go to the summary dashboard again, and now I will copy this and I'll paste it over here. So this is the process that we do with all these three dashboards. Okay, so it looks fine now. Now I will copy this, control copy dashboard item. I will paste it in the detail tab. So let me, okay, it's computing view layout. Let's wait for this thing to load. Okay, let me bring the button again. I will copy this and I will paste it over here using control V. Okay, so this is the summary button again, and now I'll copy the this overview button, copy dashboard item. I'll paste it over here and will align it with the, let me check. And now I will copy the last the details button, control C, Control V, and I will extrude here. Okay, and I will double click on it just to show that now the, oh sorry, I made a mistake. Let me have, change it to details. Let me change the font to black, and let me change this to, okay, and I will call it as details button. Click on apply, and I will click on, okay. So now when I hold the alt key and I will click on the overview, then the overview dashboard loads and this button gets highlighted. And then when I hold the alt key and I click on the summary, so this dashboard is loaded. So that was all about this project. Let me tell you one thing: this project was already created by another mentor from Data Tutorials. But there were, when I was doing the same project again, I had some issues in the coding and also the Tableau public. In that video, they were like using Tableau desktop, but Tableau desktop is a paid version. So I am using Tableau public. So for that we had to first make changes to the data type of the data that we exported from the SQL. So we exported in the form of CSV, and then we converted into Excel worksheet using Microsoft Excel, and then we imported over here because in the Tableau we don't have so many options when importing the data. We can't export CSV, we can't import, sorry, and we can't import any SQL or any other files like that, the options that are available on the Tableau desktop, so that are not available in the Tableau public. So I actually recreated this project, and the credit goes to him because he's also my mentor, and I just recreated it. But one another thing I just changed in the project, I just reduced the time to the minimum as possible. So this was all about this project, and you can showcase it as your portfolio project because it belongs to the financial domain, which is very in demand these days. And just make a short video clip of it, of this dashboard, and upload it on your LinkedIn, and also upload this code on your GitHub profile, and provide a link over there on the LinkedIn or any other platform where you want to share your all your data and this project. So thank you for being patient, and thank you for making it this far. Guys, I had to make some corrections in the dashboard. Actually, initially it was good loan issued. Did not rename it to its actual correct name, which is bad loan issued. So I edited this title also, and also this one. It was equal to the good loan received amount because we forgot to replace this value with its assigned measurement. So when I assigned to this page the value, the correct value, so the result was this. So just to make this correction, and rest the project is all good. If you like the video, if you have learned something from it, please like and share and subscribe to my channel, and so we can bring more stuff for you related to portfolio projects or any data analysis related projects.